How's it going? I don't know if my audio is coming through again. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know why this thing keeps making me suffer like that. For some reason, then that's 2 streams in a row. Where if you guys have, ever done any kind of streaming or anything, you might know that you have to have a side tone so that you can monitor whether or not your audio is actually going out. And if it's not, then something's wrong. And so, yeah, that's 2 streams in a row now where I start the stream and my side tone's not going. So I can't tell whether or not my my audio is actually going out. But yeah, I seem to have trimmed it up there, so we're good now. Hopefully everybody's having a great night wherever it is that they are. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be getting into the energy amplifier here in just a couple of minutes for, public suffering. Most of you probably, or at least a lot of you, have seen me go through, Spiral Abyss or Energy Amplifier events in the past. And I don't know, like, I just opened myself up for suffering with Energy Amplifier specifically. Like, honestly, like, the Spiral Abyss gets a lot of criticism for being, like, needlessly difficult sometimes. But I think Energy Amplifier is one of those ones where it's a curious game for me where, like, I'm the kind of person who likes a challenge. And so, like, I want to get as high a point score as I can. But it like, getting a higher point score than is necessary is kind of arbitrary. And then, so I just, like, I sit there and I won't unclick the boxes for some of the difficulty levels. And there's almost no reason not to. But I'll sit there with them anyways, and just suffer and struggle and keep trying it for this, like, arbitrary reward of nothing. But I'll do it anyways, so there's that. So that'll probably not change. I'll probably do it tonight, and we'll keep burning at it one way or the other. We're gonna do the pain-inducing, energy amplifier event today. Yes, we are. Let's see. Rev says he can't hear me. Rev, probably unmute it then. It's been a long time since I watched your streams, but I hope you're good and all. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Alyssa. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. TH, will you buy the Keqing skin? Yes, absolutely I will. And in fact, when the Keqing and Ningguang skins drop, I'm probably going to just, like, make, like, a novel party with those 2 characters and see what I can do. I've been meaning to actually, like, build my Ningguang for a while, so I think that's a good excuse for me to finally do it. That's actually what got me to finally build my Barbara, was when they released the skin for her, and then I actually got her to a point where she was usable. And, like, now, in a pinch, if I need her, I have her. I have every other healer in the game, but the only one I've not really built yet is Kokomi. I still need to do that at some point. All right, let's see. Read you loud and clear. Hello, what's up? First Historia live I get to see. Well, how's it going, Star Roll Shack? Welcome. Well, you picked a hell of a stream to make your first one, because I am gonna suffer, as I said in the thumbnail. This event is definitely events like this one have long been my least favorite. I've submitted not insubstantial feedback on that, but like, obviously, like, my feedback is not, on its own that important. Like, I don't know if I even, like, my general, like, disdain for this event is, like, shared by the community. I kind of don't think it is. I think everybody else likes it just fine. I'm just I don't know, it submits me to just suffering. It does. And it's just like a personal hang up, so it is what it is. That said, I feel like when I was looking over most of the boosters that you could get for this one, the actual enhancements, it seems like a lot of them were geo based. Did everybody else find that to be the case? And if so, is that what you guys used to clear it? Because it kind of seems like it's trying to push you to make an Edo party for it, but I'm not sure that my Edo party is up for the challenge, especially given how good my Shogun party is. So, like, I'm just not sure, although I'm seeing that there's a few Electro enemies here, so I don't really know what to expect from that. How about I rank Energy Amplifier against Hypostatic Symphony or Vagabond in terms of difficulty? So I think that's a hard one, all things considered, just because they have some similar some like mildly similar mechanics, like this whole window. But I'm just kind of not like, I would say that this is probably easier than those, just because you can trim it down just a little bit more, I think. But I don't know, like there's just something about this one I like. Even I think it's maybe it's an actual like energy amplifier aspect to it that makes me like it less. I don't know, just it's like a needless complication. I like things that are simple, aside from like story stuff. Like I like complicated stories and simple gameplay. Like what the hell is that? I don't know. It's just where I am. 4-piece noblesse or 4-piece emblem catching. Let's go. I guess you could use 4-piece noblesse on a Kaching, but I mean my Kaching is actually already built, so like it's not like I wouldn't have to actually put together like a junk build Kaching, because mine's been built for a long time. I just haven't actually been putting her to use, not since Shogun came out. Mine has a jade cutter, which I painstakingly got for building this character. And she's at 79% crit rate, almost 200% crit damage on 132.4 energy recharge. So yeah, she's got a pretty solid build. I do have her built with the what is it, the 4-piece Thunder Soother, so that as soon as she sticks her stiletto, it's all about her infusion. I really wanted her to be an electro damage dealer, not physical. So yeah, she's been built up for quite some time, and she actually does quite good damage with that spamming of her charged attack. But she's really stamina hungry. That's one of the major problems I've experienced with that. But one thing I haven't done for Kaching yet is tested her with Sara, because I feel like with Sara should probably do a lot more damage. So it's something I've actually been meaning to do for a little while, and I'll get around to doing that as well. Let's see. Velexin Permafreeze is probably the best for it. Permafreeze. All right, so let me take a look at the energy amplifier aspects of the event here. I want to see. Let's see. Permafreeze. Which one was that? Is that one of the add-ons? Let's see. Dual stance. Or are you just Vol, you're probably talking about like a party, right? Like using like a freeze comp or something like that, like an Ayaka party. Is that what you're talking about? You use double Geo Tau. Interesting. King Chops. Yeah, okay. Hu Tao, Xingchua. I haven't built Xingchua. Albedo. And Zhongli, interesting, but even though I have him, beating the domains is a bit of a pain in the ass. I wanted to see how difficult it was if I activated everything, and I died in like 4 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I might have to try that just as a baseline as well. I used either my Ito or Hu Tao teams for this. Hu Tao is literally all about bringing the pain. Yeah, she's really strong. Mine's always been built pretty well as well, so I can... I don't usually use Hu Tao that much, though, just because I'm not much into like Berserker playstyles, but mine is... She's built on a solid foundation, so I don't really have anything to complain about there. Now, the crystals don't really matter, though. If you were just going for full rewards, I just selected random ones and got the 4K points each. So the reason why this stream is called Suffering is because I usually do set like arbitrary point rewards for myself, which are usually well above the minimum requirement for this one, which I'm told is like 12,000. So I'm probably gonna keep pushing for something higher than that, but we'll see. I don't think I've ever actually read what the fruit do in any more depth than the very cursory read. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, so like I was looking over this, and this Blade Dance one seemed very interesting. Characters possess 5 stacks of Blade Dance effect, and each stack increases the normal attack damage dealt by the character by 15%. Possessing 5 stacks will increase normal attack speed by 15%, and when the character takes damage, they lose a stack of Blade Dance. Maximum of 1 stack can be lost every second. This way, character will gain 1 stack of Blade Dance for every 10 seconds they are on the field, up to a maximum of 5. So the one thing that's like this would be really good if you avoid attacks, but there's one of those things where I'm not sure if Zhongli will protect me from this or not. Like I could bring him, but I don't know if like hits to shield counter, if it has to be hits to the body. I'm not really sure. My Hu Tao team was Kazuha, Zhongli, Bennett, and Hu Tao. Not my Abyss team, but I needed the best supports for this. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, probably what I'm gonna start with is my my Shogun team, if able, and if it can go through everything, I will, because that team has yet to fail me. It has done really, really well, but there are some events that can make things complicated, so we'll see. Sakura, thanks. I appreciate it. I love your channel. It's so helpful. I'm really glad that my channel has been helpful to you with regard to helping to, you know, improve your enjoyment of the story. So cool. Thanks. All right, let's see. When a character hits opponents, a shockwave will be unleashed that deals true AoE damage. When a character obtains an elemental shard created by a Geo elemental reaction, a small shockwave will be unleashed. It will deal 500% of the character's attack as damage to nearby opponents. Additionally, all characters in the party gain 40% Geo bonus damage for 10 seconds after this. That actually sounds really good if I were to bring an Ito team. I don't know. Maybe I'll give Ito a go. Like, I don't even know. Oh, there's a co-op setup too. Interesting. When any party member uses an elemental burst, the elemental roundabout effect is generated, which increases all party members' elemental mastery by 100% for 20 seconds. Stacking up to 3 times that the effect is triggered against 3 stacks, a shockwave that deals AoE damage will be unleashed. After using elemental burst, all party members on the field will unleash a shockwave that scales on 600% of attack. The character that unleashes shockwave and which deals damage to nearby opponents. Okay. Every 2 seconds. That's actually not bad either. After using elemental burst and the elemental profusion effect will occur, increasing all party members' elemental burst damage by 12 for 15 seconds, max 5 stacks. Okay. Win all 5 are okay. Actually, I really do think that that one's very. Is that I think was this the one that I had originally? No, it's not. That was Blade Dance. That was this one. This is a different dance. I think I'm gonna try with this one first, and we're gonna kind of go from here. Like I said, I'm gonna start with my Shogun team just to see how things work out. I probably won't do very well. I'm just gonna select all of these and start unselecting them from there. Yeah, I think it's maximum 8,000 points, right? Like, yeah, so it's a maximum of 8,000. I doubt very seriously, unless I were to build a team, you know, very specific to, you know, what's going on, that I would be able to achieve that. But I could give it a go just as a baseline, which is probably what I'll do to start. Let's see. Yabuda Mabula? Is this your favorite game? Genshin Impact is my favorite, like, concurrent game, like favorite ongoing game that is in existence at the moment. Yes. However, I do have some other games that I really, really love and have for a long, long time. I've been a massive fan of Zelda for years. Like, as long as I can remember, I've played Zelda games really, since I was really, really young. But some other games that kind of have come out of nowhere for me in my list of favorite games, I would say Horizon Zero Dawn quickly dethroned a lot of games from, like, any kind of contention, because it kind of changed my view of, like, what kind of, like, storytelling could be achieved in a game. But I'm also a big fan of the Final Fantasy franchise. Big shout out to Final Fantasy VIII, which was always my favorite. But Final Fantasy IX is really, really good. I always enjoyed that. Final Fantasy Tactics, and the remake for Final Fantasy VII is really, really good too. So yeah. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with everything selected, but I want to review what all of these are before I get absolutely completely, like, blown away by this, because it's gonna ruin me, right? Like, it's just, I'm gonna get melted. It's just gonna destroy me, and that's gonna be how it goes. So let's see what happens. So I've already got the time set to, what, 3 minutes to start. That's probably not gonna be enough. I could probably keep everything selected and survive, but with a longer time. So that may be how I start to trim things back. Opponent's HP is increased by 200%. Opponent's attack is increased by 50%. All party members' shield strength decreased by 50. Energy recharge decreased by 50. That's going to be painful. Increases the stamina consumption of sprinting by 100%. Also painful. Switching characters during the challenge decreases damage taken by all characters in that player's party. It increases damage by 15% for 30 seconds, and it stacks up to 4 times. That's painful too. Elemental burst during the challenge increases damage taken by all characters in that party player's party by 15% for 30, stacking again to 4 times. Aye. When active character's HP is lower than 50%, the attack is decreased by 50%. When active character's HP is lower than 50%, movement speed is decreased by 18%. When specters have expanded are defeated, other specters on the field will accumulate fury. Specters will continuously accumulate fury. Each extended spender, that's hard to say, will increase all opponents' attack by 25% up to a maximum of 100%. And the number of specters that can exist simultaneously is increased by 1. Well, that one's not that big a deal, but which is kind of weird considering how many points that's worth compared to some of the other ones. But okay, so I'm gonna start with complete total suffering with my Shogun team as well, with like max points here. I don't even really know what to expect, so we'll see. It's very, wait, it's in the Abyssal Moonspire. I haven't seen the Abyssal Moonspire in a hot minute. Early on in the game, I do believe there was an Abyssal Moonspire that was I think there was, because I want to say that like I had like a breakthrough moment where I realized like this was the same location. There was a Abyssal Moonspire background that where the moon was red and everything was kind of glowing red, like in the escape scene from the We Will Be Reunited trailer. So yeah, that was a really cool one. But we haven't been in this location very much in a while. I might need to make sure I pop back in here and get some recordings in here, because I've been waiting for an opportunity to actually record stuff in here for a while. I still really want them to allow us to use camera mode in here, though. Like, I don't understand why they don't enable camera mode in here. Like, is there some kind of like bugs that they're worried about us? Like, is there some kind of bugs that they're worried about us exploiting in here or something for doing that? I don't know. But either way, I gotta get some recordings done in here for sure. All right. So let's see how bad this goes, because this is gonna be absolutely awful, I'm sure. All right, just gonna throw out everything to start. Ah. All right, there we go. Are they resisting me? Yeah, because the Electro ones are gonna resist me for sure. I'm not gonna be able to do much with that at all. So these aren't bosses. I was expecting them to be like, oh, did I kill myself? Oh, poor Shogun. All right, well, that's fine. I can still resurrect myself, so long as my Shogun doesn't immediately die again. Okay, she died immediately, so there goes my biggest damage dealer. She died really fast too. All right, so you can see that's not going to work. Let's leave the domain. That definitely did not work. Okay. Oh, okay. So my Shogun's still dead. It should resurrect characters when they die in there. Maybe Volexen was onto something there earlier. He was saying a perma freeze, so maybe I should bring my my freeze comp, or my Edo comp would also probably be beneficial here. Oh, definitely need to be grabbing these. By the way, I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but over on, I think it was on the Twitter, or on the official Genshin Impact Twitter, the Chinseen flowers are what you're gonna need for Shenhua. So like if you are trying to get together materials for that, you should probably start grabbing those now, because you're gonna want a repop cycle for those. I'm actually gonna need to start tackling that too, because those are one of the most abysmal ones to try to gather in the first place. So all right, so let's go back into it. What is camera mode? I'm not good with terminology, sorry. Camera mode is like where you go here to take photo. Like I actually record a lot of the footage for my videos using this mode, because you can off-center the camera, or you know, set the camera high or low to get a bit more dramatic shot. You can also you know, like set background blur so you can make the shots a little bit nicer looking. And you know, the better you get with it, the more you work with it, is really nice. But you can't do that in domains for some reason. They've disabled that, so I don't understand why they've disabled that there. But you know, it's something that exists. You get revive when you enter the domain. Yeah, that's probably true. I always forget about that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that for now. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my my Ayaka team this time and see if this goes any better with them. And then I'm gonna start trimming things down from there. I kind of don't think that this team's gonna work either, just because this team's always been a little light on healing. But we'll see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. The good news is that there's not much in the order of what is it? I don't have an electro character here, so I don't have enemies that will just completely resist everything, which is good. Which is definitely an added plus here. I need to get Mona's attack in here. Nice. Oh god. Definitely taking a little damage from a distance there. That was kind of rough. Oh, did that thing just one-shot my Ayaka? Yikes. Alright, I gotta be careful with that. I gotta get Diona's burst back. Oh, God. Maybe. I don't think this is gonna work. I really don't. Trying to just stay away from things for a moment. I have no stamina. I have really... Nope. Oh, there goes Diona. She's dead now. Everybody's probably gonna be dead soon. I've only defeated 3 enemies. This is so bad. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to trim this back. Or another thing I could also try is like a geo comp where, you know, I just have like a higher level of protections. Yikes. Yeah, Ayaka got one-shotted from full health. Oh, you can use food buffs in here. I always forget about that too. That's that also could really help. Interesting. All right, yeah, I'm gonna leave it again because suffering still. I don't think like this is the team I've been using for like friendship level grinding lately. But I'm gonna make a couple of changes to this group just to make it a little bit more robust. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. It probably won't. But once we get in, I'm gonna food buff it and see if that helps too. At risk of getting banned, you could replace Mona with Kokomi. My Kokomi is not built and thus will have the like useful effectiveness of like, I don't know, like she won't be very useful. I was trying to think of something more clever there, but nothing wanted to manifest itself, so there it goes. All right, so all party members physical damage 35. Nah, that's not the food. Let's not. I think Adeptus one. Yeah, all parties attack. This one. Then also let's look at maybe a resistance potion, and then some kind of defense. Shield strength by 35% could be handy. We'll go with those. All right, let's see what we can get done with this. I'm gonna get the attack speed buff from my Jean really quick. All right. Let's get some normal swings in. So my Ito's definitely not done being built yet, but he's doing okay. I definitely can't complain too much about his damage already. He seems to be working well enough in a lot of instances. So like there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and put down this heal field really quick and boost the attack speed one more time. All right. Let's see if I can actually get an elemental burst out of my Ito again. That would be super nice. All right, I just got to keep the energy recovery coming back from Jean. I think that will help me a lot. All right, I've got Ito's burst getting close. I'm going to throw Zhongli's first, just to help lock everything down a little more. All right, that's up. Goro's burst. A few attack swings here from Ito. And I need to get attack speed again. Actually, let's stack it up a little bit. I think I did that out of order, but whatever. It's too late now. I mean, still the damage is coming down really solid. I can't really complain about that at all. A lot of the enemies are going down here. This is actually going surprisingly better than I thought it would. Ooh, ow, Jean. No. Gotta get off that character real quick here. Just to try to sure her up a little bit before she... Ah, come on. I can't believe I had that shield up and she still died really fast. All right. Oh, no, Jean. That was way too close. You know, honestly, this is going a lot better than I thought it would. I wouldn't say it's going amazing, but it's not going bad either. Oh, he got one-shotted. As soon as I say something like that, of course. Oh, God. All right, well, it's all starting to come apart at the seams now. But I definitely survived a bit longer than I thought I would, but I can't seem to actually finish things off. for the timer that I'm set to. So there is that layer of complication to this. Oh God. Well, that's all there was on that one. I almost survived to the end of the timer on that one, which was not too bad, but yeah, so we're gonna go back in again, but I think I'm gonna have to start trimming it down a little bit, I think. Or just extending the timer at the very least, and then I just might have to be a little bit more careful. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm gonna extend the timer to 5 minutes instead of 3. And I'm gonna try it like this again. That might end up working better. Use Venti, Ayaka, and Kazuha. Yeah, that would definitely my Kazuha is very good. He really is quite good. I think that this team I feel like this team could do it. If I'm gonna try it one more time with this team with a longer timer, because they were going pretty well until I lost my gene, and then everything kind of fell apart after that. So I'm gonna try it one more time with this team unaltered, but with just, you know, the timer extended, and kind of just see if I can make it happen. And if I don't get through it this time, then I'll consider more party changes and kind of start to tweak it a bit more. Did I not start with an elemental burst on Ito? I didn't. Okay. Get that attack speed buff again. A couple more extra swings in, and let's go. Let's do it, Ito. One of these days, I'll finish building my Ito so that he's actually, fully completed. But I'm spending a lot of time swinging at that guy who's immune to the attacks. It's not ideal. Oh, get out of here. And I need that shield back. So, like, even Ito's, like, cow does surprisingly good damage in here. And maybe it has something to do with all the Geo add-ons that I have. God, man, my gene got slammed by something. Come on, give me that elemental burst. God. Oof.
Everyone on me. Charge.
All right, there we go. I got Gene's burst back just in time on that one. All right, come on. Just for a second, I thought I was about to start climbing that damn Gene or Zhongli post. Thankfully, I didn't. Oh no! Well, there goes Ito. Whoa, 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 whoa! Get out of that. I'm gonna have to res him. There we go. I'll pull a shield. I don't need to go to Ito, so if I can just get that elemental burst back on my Gene, I can fix him up. Nice. All right, Ito's back. I think my food's gonna wear off soonish, though. Oh, come on, get back in the heal circle at least. Man, some of these enemies are really, really tough, though. Stop chasing me down like that. Get out of here. Oh, come on. Through the Zhongli shield, my Goro got completely wasted. Nope. Get out of here with that garbage. All right. Well, I don't... Oh, that really hurt. Well, that's probably the beginning of the end right there. His Gene's gone now, so I really don't have much longevity after she's out. I'm having a lot of trouble eliminating the Spectres. They definitely are making a lot of problems for me right now. I mean, Ito seems to be doing fine here overall. It's just like I can't seem to... Like, for one, I have nothing going for the Electro mages, so that's a big problem as well. All right, so maybe the Animo characters will be a better way to round this out. Maybe even a Zhao themed party. Although there's a couple of Animo Spectres in there, isn't there? All right, like right now I'm trying to see if there's a team that I can throw at this that will not require a whole lot of additional swapping. Let's see. I could build my my alternate Shogun party and bring Venti and Kazuha in at that, but I have no heals, so I probably have to change things up. So maybe what I'll do is wait. Venti's already in this team, isn't he? Kazuha. Where is he? There he is. Not Eula. Let's go with Xiao.
You called?
But I still need a healer. Is this gonna be like, I'll have no options if I stick with him for those Animo Specters. I need some other element. So I don't know that will work. I could go with could bring out Hotel, but I need a healer to support her. Let's see. Ganyu's also always like a pretty solid and steady bet as well. Oh boy. Let's see. I am not sure. Don't use Venti. It's cancer here. I don't know. Like, I feel like Venti may not be quite as useful. Freeze comps work really well here. I mean, that was the second thing I tried, but I mean, I could try it again, but I might want to toss Diona for Jean. That might be one of the main issues, but like even I think my Ayaka got one-shotted at one point. I feel like the shields that I was running with my Ito team was the thing that was really helping me. I don't think that Kazuha and Venti are going to be the way to go, because as somebody just pointed out, Spectres can't be sucked in, and that's not very helpful. So I don't really think I want to suffer with that. So I think I am going to skip on that. But what I'm going to do, I hate to like forego my battery for Ayaka, but I don't think I really have much of a choice. So I'm going to swap her up for Jean. I think I will leave Kazuha here. His, primary goal isn't necessarily sucking everything up. It's more just, getting the Viridescent Venerer attached to everybody. Just waiting for everybody to get their burst back. Now I need to use some food again. Because the food definitely does help. The food absolutely does help. So I'm going to do that again. Oh, God, I've only got a couple of electro resistance ones left. I don't need shield strength anymore because I don't really have a shield focus party here. General defense increase would be pretty good, though. These are all shield, aren't they? No, that one's defense and healing effects. All right, yeah, we'll go with the... yeah. All right, we'll go with that. And we'll see what I can get done with this party. Get them all kind of hosed down here first. Are they not freezing? Get frozen, God. All right. Well, a couple enemies have already died. Oh, God. Oh, what the hell? Poor Ayaka. She got wasted quick. It's all right. I resurrected her, so it's fine. And I had already gotten her elemental burst off. Oh, God. Oh, with the swinging around. That's really super annoying. My Mona out here again. Oh. Away. That was really close. Way too close, really. Oh, what did Mona die to? When did that happen? Oh, my God. Ugh. I keep falling just shy of having enough energy regeneration. Like, I keep hitting, like, one particle short of regenerating Jean's burst. Oh man, I wanted to like retry. I actually feel like that could have been like achievable, but it just, I don't know, it peeled off a little quick. So I'm gonna try with that one again, and we'll see. Oh man, this is every bit as rough as I expected it would be. So it's kind of par for the course, really. Just go ahead and set down that Mona burst right away. Hey, stop pegging me from every which angle, okay? Get out of here with that. Yeah, I mean, Mona's burst definitely helps me to get a lot of damage out in the early portion for sure. But... oh. The great thing about just having a shield around is that I don't really have to worry about too much. But these enemies still just, they hit like trucks. Need that Mona burst back. That's what I need. Oh, God. Oh, man. Well, I've got Mona's burst ready again. So let's see what I can get done with that. Definitely throw this down really quick before I get wasted by something. If I can get rid of some of these Abyss Mages, that would be super awesome. Right now, I'm just trying to stay within the confines of the Ayaka burst, just to, or not the Ayaka burst, but the oh, come on, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I swapped to the wrong character when I was trying to get back to Jean, just so that I could heal again. I blew it. I don't think, oh, I can still resurrect her, good. Oh, no, 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 no. God, she was again at like 1 energy from being able to burst, which would have probably saved everything. Now I'm probably not going to make it, like, just on like the narrowest of margin. Oh my God, everything is almost dead, but they just won't die. There's only a couple enemies left, and it's mostly just specters, but I don't think I'm not going to make it. This is definitely the closest I've gotten with only, like, you know, 1 removal so far. But I think that one enemy, yeah, that one enemy is Hydro, isn't he? I wouldn't be able to kill him. Oh, wait. I actually could kill him with my Mona because she has Skyward Atlas. It just might take a while. Well, we'll see. If I can stay loose and just keep everything away, this could be a epic Mona win. If I can also get a resurrection off in 72 seconds, that also might help. Oh, nope. I didn't make it. Hey, listen, that actually didn't go too bad. So I think this party might be the one to do it. I need to make sure that I, you know, keep food buffs on. I think that's also going to be really, really important. 7 monsters out of 15. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad, though, like, considering which monsters were left there. And a lot of them were pretty low health, so there's that. Try full HP, built Zhongli, and just try to tank it. I don't really like adjusting my character builds, especially for an event. And I think that's one of the things where it's like, again, this is like my suffering. This is why I called this suffering, because I don't like changing my characters for events. It makes my eyes twitch. Every time I change the builds on my characters for one thing, and then I got to remember how they were before. Because I get very comfortable with the way my characters work, and then as soon as I change their build and they don't work that way anymore, I get really pissed off, and it's just like, okay, I can't deal with that. And then my Raiden's amazing, but her team doesn't really work here, because, you know, like, there's the Electro guys here and all that, so there is that. I don't think that her team is really, like, ideal for trying to get a 7,500 point run here, but we'll see what happens. 'Cause, you know, I might still end up having to swap things around, but I don't know if that's necessarily what's gonna happen just yet. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can get through the early portions of this by, you know, throwing down a bunch of elemental bursts and slowly building my energy back up now. Oh God, that kind of hurt a bit. Got the energy regeneration going again. Oh, come on. I hate that Electro Abyss Mage. He teleports right to your face and then just auto kills whoever he lands on. All right, well, that's fine. That's funny. I said that, and then Kazuha said exactly the same thing. All right, so most of the large enemies are gone now, except for the 2 Abyss Mages, so I need to get rid of them. So I'm going to focus on them. And I got the Electro one trying to re-shield himself over there, but if I can get this one's shield down, you know, I can't drag it out anymore, because if he gets his shield back, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. No. Bad Electro Abyss Mage. All right. Come on, Jean, get that burst back. Nice. All right. Oh, what the hell was that? That was not okay. That's super annoying. Like, I wish you didn't have to leave the domain. I would like it if you could just retry. Put a retry button on here. I don't know what happened to my Jean there. She just got, like, completely slammed. 1 hit. Gone. Kokomi, Raiden, Beidou, Kazuha. You know Raiden and Beidou don't have any synergy together, right? That's weird that you got through it like that. Yeah, I mean, the other characters, I guess, have, like, some kind of synergy with one another, but I don't know. Electro Abyss Mage is just annoying. No cap, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, everything was going great there, and then Jean got absolutely floored, and then everything was gone after that. I can use an NRE to heal quicker. That's true. I actually hadn't considered using the NRE for this. Honestly, I frequently forget about food and just try to survive without it most of the time. Do I not? Okay, there it is. Yeah, so let's do that, because I got a absolute dump load of sweet madames right now. Anyways, I also have a voice line. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. Aether and Limine have a voice line about sweet madames and Timmy, which I found to be pretty amusing recently. Okay, so back to the Adeptus food, and then which one was it? I think it was this one. Okay. Let's try this again. This is going kind of poorly, but not that poorly, which is kind of weird. All right, I'll throw this out. Mona time. Oh, that is not what I was trying to do. I hit the wrong character and ended up wasting Jean's burst, which was not what I was trying to do. Oh, God. All right, well, I'm glad that got a little travel, because otherwise I don't think that would have done any damage. But that was probably the worst Ayaka burst I've had this whole thing so far, because it just did not go that well. Oh, God. Run, Kazuha. Oh, God. Jean just got one shot at again. Every time Jean dies, it's over. I gotta restart. Oh, God. Like, I have to also end up having to then remember to use the frickin' NRE. That is also very important. Let's see. As somebody who doesn't really use a healer and uses Hu Tao, I could not live without NRE. That's fair. You know, like, I don't really use my Hu Tao that much, although she is really, really good, so I really can't complain. All right. Trying again. Everybody's got their burst except for Jean. There it is. All right, this time I need to try to get my Ayaka's burst to actually drop in the right spot, because the last one did not. The last one dropped in a really inopportune location. Oh my God, could you? Thank you. All right. Please don't turn 90 degrees. All right, good. It went in the right direction. Ayaka almost got one dropped there. Go ahead and take my attack speed buff. Oh God. Oh God, that was so close. All right. The attack speed buff again. Oh, come on, Jean. Oh, I was even using the NREs on that one, and it still didn't work out. All right. I gotta use the heal, get my Ayaka. What? What the hell was that? While she was standing in her burst field even. Oh my God. This does not want me to succeed, does it? Yeah, and I can't because I already used like, come on, in her burst field. You can't use NRE if you're one-shotted. Yeah, no, you can't. Let's see. Well, that was rough. Honestly, like, I don't know if I was doing better with my Ito team than this or not. It felt like I was safer. Take the elemental burst and team swapping damage buffs away. What would the point drop be if I did that? Switching, like, these two, yeah, it would drop me to 7,000. And maybe I'll actually survive with this, because I think that it actually is probably what's killing me. Because every time, like, I'm swapping a lot. This team is built for swapping. And I'm also using elemental bursts, so, like, right at the beginning, I'm using all those elemental bursts, and then they're just flooring me right afterwards. So maybe that's even what killed Jean just now. So let's, now we're at 7,000 instead of 7,500, but, we'll see. Oh, God, come on. Let me actually do something. I was getting kind of hung up there for a second. All right, more bursts. Okay, well, one of the Electro ones is down. Still helpful. I'm gonna throw down this Jean burst and kind of try to chill in safety for a moment. Ah, come on. These larger guys are kind of a problem for me right now. All right. No. Run, Jean. All right. That's the wrong character. All right. Ugh. Stop interrupting, Kazuha. Okay, so I do appear to be taking a lot less damage in this configuration. I honestly think that this is probably a configuration that I can get through like this. I say that and I'll probably die in like 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, I survived up to this point. Oh, nice. This could be a really good one. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move. All you little bastards, don't move. All right, come on. Stay there. Okay. Things are going pretty well. That Jean burst off. Not on the best enemy, but okay. There's gonna be some repops, I guess, because there's not all the enemies on the field yet. Oh, come on. Get away from me. Jeez. A couple of these guys are Animo, which is kind of making this a problem. Oh, had a little lag spike there. All right, fine. Just die. All right, he's down. Got a few more enemies. That one's Hydro, and I'm hitting him with a Hydro, so that's stupid. All right, come on. Let's get rid of this one. That one might have just repopped. Need to get Gene's Burst back just so that I'm ready in the event that I need a emergency heal. Aye.
One with nature.
Kazuha's Burst could be helpful here. Just throw these. Just get it out. Got Mona's Burst going here too. I can throw that out after this one. See if it'll be helpful. Probably will. Nice. This is the furthest I've gotten for sure. Well, and I'm on 7,000 points instead of 7,500. Yeah, getting rid of those two debuffs definitely made a huge difference in the damage output potential of the enemies. I think I'm gonna get through this. I don't see what weird world could exist where it takes me 2 minutes to kill these two, but we'll see. They are really, really chunky though. They've got a lot of health. They don't really die very fast, do they? Alright, but, you know, freezing them is the key. As long as they can't move or get away from me, I should be able to keep damaging them. Aye. Alright, we're good, we're good, we're good. Stop running away from me. God, I'm gonna have to work really hard to get this last one down with this last minute 24, but we'll see. I may have cursed myself when I said that thing a minute ago, but we'll see. Oh, the Mona Burst should help a lot, actually. Ooh, and I'm about to get an Ayaka Burst. Nice, yeah, I think that this will probably about do it for this one. Yeah, that's it. I got it on this one at 7,000. All right, you're gone. Oh, almost killed my Ayaka right there at the end. All right, so the first one's done at 7,000. That's not bad. Yeah, good thought. Good thought on that one, Aether. Like that, those two buffs were what were chewing me up. Those two were definitely eating me pretty bad. My food buffs wore off about 3/4 of the way through that, didn't they? Might have did the 100% instead of 200% HP buff as well. Eh. All right, so that got me through the first one. Oh god, Rift Hounds, interesting. I gotta claim my rewards for that one. So that's one down. So that, yeah. So it's all just point rewards. So I do need all this Mora, that's for sure. All this Mora is gonna be really, really helpful on Tuesday night. All right, so on to the next one. Rift Hound is actually easier. Okay. With Geo Wolves. I'm kind of thinking I probably are the buffs the same? Probably. Okay, so there's like a mild variance in this. I'll read what we've got going here in just a second and kind of go through it again. Starting with the 7,500, and then I want to see if those same two buffs are on here again. Let's see, when character's active. No, that one's fine. After sprinting, all characters in your own party take 40% increased damage. Oh, that's pretty rough for an Ayaka team for sure. Less of a problem for like a Raiden team. Maybe I could bring my Raiden team to this one. We'll see. Same team could be really good, although I would want to get rid of the sprinting one because that pretty much actively undermines Ayaka. Let's see. Okay, when active character's HP is lower than 50%, when Rift Hound, during the challenge, defeating a Rift Hound or Wolfhound Whelp will summon another Thunder Craven Wolfhound Whelp. This will only happen once per wave of opponents. Interesting. Thunder Craven Wolfhounds can use a Lightning Bolt Matrix skill. Huh. So, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm gonna try my Raiden team again first, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna use food again as well. I'm kind of eating through some of my better foods, but I should still have some options. I don't have any other good resistance buffs Because I think they're Geo and Electro, right? And I don't have any more Electro resistance buffs. I might have to make more of those later. I'll take this one. All right, let's see what happens. Electro. God, I feel so slow. All right, got the snapshot going for my Xiangling. Let's go ahead and hit those with Sara and bring the pain with Shogun and see what happens. Oh, I'm out of my Bennett circle. I kind of did that out of order too. That didn't help any. God, they did a lot of damage really fast. I'll have another Bennett circle now, so that'll give my Shogun best chance to survive. God, get back in there. Definitely need to try to operate from the circle as best I can. 369,000 damage on that one. I'll take that. All right. Come on. Keep it poking. Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and use this just to get some healing down again. All right. Well, the first wave of enemies wasn't too bad. Come to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me get some energy for Bennett. Went for the full charge shot just to bring him back a bit more energy. I gotta be careful though. Oh, I took my Sara right into that attack. That was kind of unfortunate. All right, Bennett burst is back. I already used it, so I gotta do that. Got it. Okay. Let's see if I can get that Xiangling burst. Nice. Okay. Use it again for Shogun. Oh, was that a 5.5? Ah, that was like over 500,000 damage from my Shogun's burst on that one. I think it was. It looked like 570,000. Either that or it was overlain with another one. It was just like 50,000. But it looked like it was really high. If that was that, then that was far and away the highest damage burst I think I've ever dealt with her. And I mean, it's not that I'm all that surprised that she would be capable of that, because my Shogun is probably my best character. I do wish that her crit rate was just a touch higher, though. I would definitely not complain if I got her crit rate a little bit higher. All right, come on. Oh, God, get out of that. Ah, Jesus. Almost got myself killed sitting there on that circle like that. Ah, yeah, okay. My Shogun team ate this in one try at 7,500. Let's go. Yeah, my Raiden Shogun team is absolutely a massive monster. 529,826 and 465,598 ult hits at Taven Astoria. Yo, this team ate this one. I knew it would. My Raiden Shogun team is usually clutch as hell. That last one was a little bit annoying because, you know, the Electro Abyss Mage and the Electro Slimes, Shogun's not going to be able to deal with them, but this did not have this. So that one went really well. So that team just eats everything, though. Like, if you guys haven't tried a dual resonance Raiden Shogun Sara Xiangling Bennett comp, it works really well. Admittedly, though, my Shogun is C4 and my Raiden is C6, so it's a little bit unreplicatable for some people, but reruns happen. Sara C6 is a feasible thing to get over time. But, you know, Raiden Shogun just eats everything. Like, mine's built really, really nasty. Although, like I said, I wish her crit rate's only at like 45% or something. It could be better. But obviously, the crits were falling on that one when it mattered. So that really, 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 really helped. All right, so let's see how bad the last one's going to be. Rift Hound's easy. Should Spectre's worst enemy in the game. Spectres are really annoying. Like, when they announced that the Spectres were going to be a thing, I think everybody was pretty much just like, this doesn't matter. And then, like, they showed up and they're horrible. All right. Perpetual mechanical array. Great. 3 moving detonation zones will be present. Detonation zone will explode after a character stays in its AoE for 2 seconds, dealing true damage. That sounds awful. So I'm going to max out everything else again first. I'll probably throw my Shogun team at it for the first pass again, just like the last one. Just because that team is, you know, my favorite. But we'll see what happens. God, no, TH. And MiHoYo prepared our Christmas gift with more Spectres, right? I would be torn if both Kazuha and Shogun rerun at the same time. Yeah, that would be a little bit of a rough one, I think. I think a lot of people have Shogun, though. I think she's, like, probably the most had character in the game of 5 stars, because everybody rolled, pretty much everybody rolled for her. There wasn't really any question for most people as to whether or not they would. Let's see. So for debuffs, opponent's HP 200% as usual. All party members' shield strength decreased by 50%. All party members' movement speed decrease. Increases stamina consumption. That's always rough. When active character's HP is lower than 70%, damage dealt is decreased by 40%. So that one can be a little rough, but you know, I operate with a Benny anyways. When HP is lower than 35%, damage dealt is decreased by 80%. That's a pretty rough one. I would say if I were to turn off any additional ones, that would probably be the first one I would want to get rid of. The sprinting damage increase one is pretty rough as well. Stamina regeneration decreased by 35% is also kind of annoying, but we'll see. AoE and damage of detonation zones are increased further. God, a lot of these are kind of rough. Number of detonation zones is increased to 4. Perpetual mechanical array paralysis duration is increased 50%. When opponent's HP falls under 15%, they will restore 30% of their HP after 6 seconds. That's kind of horrible. So that means I mean, I guess if you get it below 15%, you got to kill it. So I probably, like, if I get into that low HP range, I'll probably want to throttle and then make sure that I can, you know, as soon as it gets below that 15%, I probably need to hit it with the Raiden Shogun Burst and just finish it off. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna try with my Raiden team again first up and see what happens, because it did really well for the last one. So the food buffs are still active, but I don't have an indication of how much longer they're going to last, but I don't want to waste them. So we'll see what happens if this team can do anything on this one. She might not be able to do anything here, or this whole team might not work, or maybe I'll just need to make some minor changes. We will see. We're gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a God. Those zones are very off-putting to look at, aren't they? Oh my God! Those zones almost spiked me immediately. Alright, so getting some good 32,000 damage Youngling circles in there. That's solid enough. Oh my God, those detonation zones are horrible. You definitely don't want to stay in those. Oh, well, there goes... Oh, man. I can't really track well enough where the zones are so that I can try to stay out of them. Let me see if I can feed up my Shogun so I can actually get her back on the... Oh, or she can just die again immediately. All right, so I'm definitely going to have to... God, those zones are nasty. All right, so I'm definitely going to decrease the damage and number of zones. Oh my God, that was pretty horrible. Honestly, like my... I don't know, that was definitely... Like, I was doing good damage overall. Like, I don't think that there was bad damage there. No, that's the wrong... Yeah, okay, back to this one. So I want to definitely reduce the number of zones and decrease the damage of the zones, because those were really messing me up. Let's see. Let's see. Cool to watch you live. We were just playing around with C6 Gene bullying child. Interesting. Bullying child. Yeah, my Gene is, I think, C5. One of these days I'll get her to C6, but one of these days we'll see. Is he streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time? Didn't think that. So you actually can stream to both if you're not partnered. If you're partnered, they don't usually like that. But I'm not partnered because I haven't been streaming on Twitch that long and I don't have that big of a following there. So yeah, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know if I would take a partner anyways. I have affiliate, but that's, you know, really all you kind of need. Anyways, so let's see what happens if I do it like this. But I kind of suspect I'm going to end up needing to change some things up. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. God, these zones are irritating. I can definitely say with assurance that I don't like the zones. The zones definitely hit very hard. Oof, God, I just dropped my Shogun straight into that. All right, so just go ahead and hit it as much as I can here with this. Oh, she died again. I can't seem to keep track of where these zones are. Wait, oh God, I can't even resurrect her because I still don't have the resurrections back from the last round. At least, it seems like you just have to stay out of these zones though. But that's gonna eat up a bunch of time waiting on her to repop now. It's kind of unfortunate. Whatever. Just you know, try to gain some extra energy in the meantime, and if I can get her to repop or hit a Xiangling burst or something in the meantime, then I'll do that. All right. Oh, here's the ads. I always... Okay, here we go. It's this one. All right. Need my Shogun to come back. 12 seconds. Ugh. All right. So there's something. I didn't throw down my my Sara buff for that one. Kind of unfortunate. Oh, well, there goes Sara right as I get my Shogun rebuffed. Typical. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong enemy. Come on, turn around. Oh, this is going really poorly. Yeah, I'm definitely... I feel like this team doesn't have a high enough margin of safety or something. Maybe just boosting the damage of my Shogun would help more than having like Xiangling or something, but we'll see. She does okay damage here, like especially when I do the order correctly, but please don't eat that with the shield. Nice, it did it. All right, I gotta get behind this thing though. Oh, I hate the shielded ones. I feel like it's always the shielded one, right? Like you want it to be something else, anything but the shielded one, but it's always the damn shielded one. All right, I need to get another Bennett burst going here so I have everything. Oh god, are all the ads up still? This doesn't exactly work the way I thought it was going to. Am I still able to? I am still able to do damage to it. Okay, we're good. Oh, ouch. That really hurt. There we go. Okay, so her burst is up now. Nice, all right. So I managed to get that going. I'm gonna hold off till the Bennett burst comes back for another Shogun burst. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, still doing a lot of damage. Still doing a lot of damage. Gotta see if I can get my Kujo Sara back up in 30 seconds. That will probably also help. I'm kind of just going slow and steady right now. I don't know if I'm gonna have the timer to do it on this one though. I feel like I might run out of time, especially now that the ads are repopped. Where is it? Which one? I didn't see which one it was. There he is. Okay, it's this one. All right. I need that Xiangling burst. All right. Nice, nice. All right. So this enemy is usually a little easier to dispatch than the shielded one for sure. But I don't know. Like I'm still taking a lot of damage. Ah, there goes my Shogun. I was trying to use NREs, but my NREs are maxed out, so that didn't work. And I just regenerated my freaking Sara accidentally. Oh, come on. So there goes like most of my damage, and I can't get around the enemies now to actually get to the one I want. Very well. That's probably actually gonna about drown me on this one. I might have been able to do this if I hadn't just accidentally resurrected my Sara instead. But that's gonna do it right there. Yeah, that one kind of drowned me. Accidentally resurrecting my Sara when I did definitely pretty much finished that round for me. I want to say, of all the teams that I have, my Raiden Shogun team is the one that generally deals with these sorts of enemies the fastest. Having Xiangling here did produce a lot of damage. She really did, but I'm wondering. So Johan Liebert is saying, please replace Xiangling. I don't know, like her burst comes up a lot. She's dealing 30k ish when buffed properly every time the thing comes around. It's a lot of damage, but I'm kind of thinking maybe Kazuha could be good in it. I think Zhao could be good in this as well if I end up totally doing a rebuild. But for now, I'm going to see if just boosting Raiden's damage this way will be enough to do it. But we'll see. We'll see if this ends up working. Oh, I need food. That also probably didn't help me in the last one because my food buffs wore off during the actual run. Okay, so that's the last one of those really good defense foods I have too. All right, let's go. All right, just buff everything up. That was out of order. It's fine. I'll just have to pick it up from that. I'll just eat that with that. It's fine. That's a lot of damage. Oh god, ow. Get out of that circle before that thing slams me again. Could you stop with the damn lasers? Circles. Come on. All right, got out of them. Oh, that's right. They don't go away until... Oh man, come on with that. Don't like that. Nope. Oh god. No. All right. Oh, you little son of a... God, why? What a waste of a Bennett burst. Which one is it? Okay, well, hey, you came to me. I'll take it. I did that on the wrong character again. I keep doing that. Get on the other side of that thing. You shield the cheesy way. I don't know. This not having Xiangling in this team is kind of throwing me off. I do think that it's producing a lot of damage, which is really nice. Bennett couldn't eat any more food. Well, that's gonna do it for this team. I'm gonna have to do it again. Let's see. I think I can still leave it, but I'm gonna have to try it again this way. We'll go back in and keep moving. Come on. I feel like I can do this. QB like, I'm gonna go away from Bennett burst. It totally did. It totally did. That was the worst. It was just not good. All right. All right, let's just throw it all down. That might have been slightly out. Yeah, I didn't get a crit on the burst, so that didn't really do a lot of damage either. Didn't help any. All right, well, let's see if I can get the Bennett burst back up again. I couldn't get out of the circle from that. All right, now it's got the weakness again. Nice. That was a 426,000 burst, so I'll take that. Just keep free swinging. I don't have the stamina to go charge shots right now. Well, oh, come on. The thing just slammed my Shogun with that. Come on. Can't just be doing that. Get one more Bennett burst. It's starting to seem like, as opposed to being based on, I was thinking it was like HP totals where it would trigger the ads, but it looks like it's based on a timer instead, because I got that thing really low before the first set of ads spawned this time, which is kind of awkward. Let me see if I can get behind this thing. All right. I need another Raiden burst is what I need. Come on, Bennett. I need your burst. Let's go. There we go. Get to the back side of this thing again. All right, come on, Raiden. I need that burst. Let's go. There it is. Don't shield it. Don't shield it. Okay, good. It didn't. But I'm on the edge of the Bennett burst, so I don't know if I actually am getting the full benefit of that. Come on, die. Die before it goes off. Damn. Thing survived to the end of that. All right, cool. So I've got a couple of bursts to stack up now. Where's the real one? There he is. Just throw it all down. Okay, cool. We're still in business. Okay, come on. Come on, let's get it. I have to get away. There we go. He's still got a good amount of health, but he's definitely a lot lower. He's got that thing where he'll heal up 30% if I don't kill him. So I got to get him a little bit lower. I kind of need to throttle a little, I think, in order to prevent him from utilizing that. But I think now is the time. And give it the full rotation and just go. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, he got that heal. I had it right there, too. He was really low. Damn. So I guess I weakened him just a little bit too much. I wish there were some on-screen indicators for that so that you could kind of try to temper that reaction, because this would be over right now. I would have just finished it if that hadn't happened. Which one is it? I always miss which one it is until the HP bars show up. Oh, come on. All right, there it is. Stop trying to kill my Bennett so effectively. God. All right. Come on. You gotta die. Die, please. Alright, I got Kazuha's burst ready to go for whenever I clear this thing up again. Alright, he's down. Ow. Here he is. Let's go ahead and set that up. I did that slightly out of order. It's all right. I can hit the ground with it for the second one. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and hit it with this too. You can't do the heal again, so this should finish it this time. And it's over. I knew this team would be able to do it. I knew it would be able to do it. Oh God. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I honestly, so, you know, I called this stream suffering for a reason, because usually this goes much more poorly. But I also have never come into this event with a team like my Raiden Shogun team before. So that ended up working out pretty well. I'm at 21.5 for overall. I think the maximum would be 2,400. Yeah, because it should be maximum of 8,000 points per. So I'm pretty happy with 21.5. I think that's a pretty good number, especially all things considered. I think, what was it? Community gift bomb, rev. What is a community gift bomb? Man, I am completely clueless on stuff on Twitch. I'm not even gonna pretend that I know what that is, because I have no idea. But thank you, I think. But yeah, that could have been a lot worse. I kind of thought that was gonna take a long time. I really did. I thought I was gonna be struggling with that for several hours, but I got 7,000 on the first two and 7,500 on the middle one. So that's not too bad. Okay, he gave me 5 subs. Thank you. Well, thank you, Rev. I appreciate it. I do. It really helps with the, you know, subs definitely help with the whole, you know, production of growth and stuff on Twitch. And that platform is definitely known for slow growth. So, and you know, except for, you know, if you're the blessed lucky. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Now I know for sure I'll never be able to finish this event. I mean, this one was definitely, it's challenging. It's definitely challenging, but my Raiden Shogun team is usually really good because my Raiden is really good. Kazuha is also a really good character in general. He's kind of outright kind of broken. I do prefer to have Xiangling in the team than Kazuha, just because I had been throwing Kazuha at basically every team for the longest time, so I keep Xiangling with. But Kazuha is one of those characters that just makes every character that he's with better. So there's also that. So I think what I'm gonna do, since that only took me like an hour, and I was anticipating being at that a lot longer. With my investment, 8K should be doable for all stages. I mean, it's possible that 8K could be possible, you know, doable for all stages, but at the same time, that's a lot of pain. I don't know, like, if I even want to submit myself to do that. Like, I just don't. What I do need to check and see is how long I have left to complete the Spiral Abyss, because I have 1 day. So tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, I will be doing the Spiral Abyss at the last possible minute, because I have no choice. I'm not going to do it tonight because I don't want to, like, go double jeopardy and then go from Energy Amplifier to Spiral Abyss. That just sounds like horrible pain. But yeah, I think what I might do is just you know, we might get into just discussing some lore aspects, and I'm gonna farm some Chinsin flower for Shenhua, because that's what you need for that. I need to pull up the old interactive map here, because I never can remember where all that crap is. I know where like a handful of them are, but I never do remember like their primary locations. I want to say a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them are in the village area up there. So I'll start with up there. Actually, I put the map in on the wrong monitor here. I need to move it over here onto my other monitor. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, that went a lot better than I thought it was going to, guys. And so thanks for some of the suggestions that you guys were throwing out. I do think that helped quite a bit with reducing some of the pain by just, you know, suggesting little changes. I think Kazuha was definitely a pog change in the last round. Getting, you know, like, I'm usually pretty stubborn about swapping characters from my Raiden Shogun team or even my Ayaka Freeze comp, but I did have to make some changes. I had to toss Diona for Jean just to make sure that heal would be a little bit more stable. And then I had to replace, yeah, Xiangling for Kazuha in the last, but that ended up working out nicely. So good stuff. Let's see. Genshin Mihoyo news detail. What is that one? You can go over this, the update stuff. Oh yeah, maybe I might actually want to discuss some of that as well. Let me take a look at what specific changes are going on there too. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, this is some of like the basic things and some of the login rewards and stuff. Yeah, I might get into that here in a little bit then. Actually, I could use my my old browser interface for that too. So yeah, I might get into that. What will be the date for MiHoYo to drip feed us character on the 2.5? So usually they give us a announcement of what characters are coming in the next patch version. I want to say right around like a couple of days after the new patch version goes live. So like when 2.4 goes live, usually within 2 or 3 days, we get that Twitter post and the MiHoYo Lab post where the new characters are announced. So that's probably when I would expect us to see that again. I speculate the Lector is the guy that made the sun in Onkonomiya. Interesting. That would be interesting if that were the case. Although they played that character to be pretty like a sympathetic character, I want to say in the book, where he didn't seem like he was a bad guy. Although, you know, things in Onkonomiya haven't been going well. I want to say there was another, yeah, because like it wasn't, yeah, because he was imprisoned for the rest of his life. I want to say that they basically implied that he died in prison. So I don't know, maybe. Man, I miss watching lore vids for Genshin. I have lots of lore vids. You should watch them. Ever since about the middle of December, I've been releasing just, you know, like book readings on the actual in-game books, because that was kind of an overdue project, and I wanted to kind of give it as like a Christmas present to the community. Like, hey, if you haven't been reading these books, you can just listen to them now. I still have a lot to go. I probably will only be somewhere around halfway through the entire library of Genshin Impact after I finish the next 2. And then after that, I'm going to be moving into some theories and stuff for a little bit. But what I'm going to be trying to do is do about 1 book video a month after that. Maybe 2 on some months. We'll see. Boo for cross players. If you purchase Gnostic Course on PC or mobile only, you will not be able to claim the rewards for this season's Battle Pass via PlayStation Network and vice versa. If you purchase it on PlayStation Store only, you will not be able to claim it on mobile or PC. That's super weird. I expected them to release it this Monday. I was wrong. Oh, are you talking about the new patch? I might have missed something there. The voice lines he has makes me think that. I'm loving the book readings. Nice, Mr. D. I'm glad you enjoy the book readings. Like, I've enjoyed doing them. Honestly, it's giving me an opportunity to kind of like work on like some voice acting techniques and stuff, because I'm pretty amateur at that, obviously, because I don't do that for a living or anything, but I would be interested in learning and developing that skill more. Imagine reading. I can't talk apparently. Imagine reading books in Genshin. Joking. Ah, I see what you did there. Hopefully there will be new books in the update. I want to say most updates come with like a new book at least, or 2. Onkonomiya reminds me of Conria. Both are in the underground. I do think that the similarity between the two is not unintentional. All right, so I do need to head up towards Genshin Village. I'm going to need to toss Chi-Chi in my party so I can actually see where all the little collection items are. I don't usually use Chi-Chi, but this is one of those extreme circumstances where you kind of need her. So let's see. What party do I feel like using for this? I don't know. I mean, I could just make a party for this, but I feel like I'll just leave my my Shogun party kind of unchanged and just toss Chi-Chi into it, and now I can see stuff. So that'll help me kind of home in on the Genshin flowers a bit easier. I do like having Kazuha around just for improved movement, you know, because you can get over things a little bit quicker too. So maybe I think I will drop Kazuha in the group as well. So I'll toss Sara for that, I guess. I don't know. I think I'll just use a different party. Honestly, I was just going to use this party, but maybe I'm just going to build a different one for this. Just so I have a party that I can kind of get through things a little bit easier. So I'm going to bring Mona for fun. You know what? Maybe I'll just make a vapor comp for this. That's always enjoyable. I still want Kazuha. Bennett? Yeah, we'll bring Bennett. Wait, I have to have Chi-Chi. Duh. So I'll keep Xiangling for that. Man, this is getting complicated. So like I obviously just by extension of bringing Chi-Chi, things get a little worse. So here's what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna bring a Eula. I'm gonna make a quick Eula team. That's what I'll do for this. I'm like overanalyzing this because you don't need to be like this like ridiculous about these things, but whatever. I'm just gonna bring Chi-Chi. I'm not that worried about having like a really efficient comp for this specific set of tasks, but whatever. But I do want to be able to travel around a little easier if I'm going to be climbing and looking for flowers, because I need these flowers so I can build my Shenhua a lot faster. It's bringing me down towards these rocks over here. I got a squirrel steak. Yeah, you know what? I'll take these. I haven't farmed for Chisine flower in quite some time, I don't think. So I probably, you know, I haven't even looked at how many of those I have. So I don't even really have a good indication of how many I really need right now. Let's take a look at what I have. I probably have very few. I would imagine in the 10 to 15 area. I thought they were on this window, are they not? Actually, they should be here. Where are they? No, that's not it. That's Sweet Flower. Am I blind? Can't find them. Got a lot of Cecilia. Oh god, I need a lot more beetles for... Oh, I have 56. That's better than I thought I would have, actually. So I need... If I want to get her to 80, I need to have somewhere in the 80s, I think. And you need like 160 or some crap like that for much higher. But, you know, I'll try to farm out as many as I can. Can't wait to explore that place. I'm still stuck at the Shogun fight. Oh, okay, so you're stuck in... What is it, 2.1? Like the... Is it the first or the second Shogun fight? That fight's pretty rough. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not, but you do need a like. I think you can still use like NRE and stuff to, you know, force feed yourself after she seals all your abilities so that you can survive long enough. Because you know, obviously you can't like use skills or anything to heal. It is worth noting that if you have your Traveler built, the Traveler can still use their elemental skills against a Shogun though. So you could use feasibly, you could use like Geo or Animo Traveler against her, and it will soften things a little bit for you, make it a little bit less of a chore, I think. All right, so I never can remember exactly where all these damn things are. There's a bunch more. I want to say there should be one here. There should be a few up here. I gotta go up there, a couple more down here. There's one here, and one looks like here on the map. No, that's not it. It's here on the map. All right, I'm going to go to that one first. Let's see. 108 for 80. 168, I think, is 90. And I'm going to probably try to go to at least 80, but I'd like to go to 80 with upgrade to 90 for my Shenhua right away. And I'm also gonna need to look at what materials, like as soon as they release it, because I don't know that they've released it even what they need for Yunjin, because I'm planning on building her as well. I haven't decided what set I'm gonna build her with yet, but I'm gonna build her. I'll probably set her up to be like a, you know, an assist of some kind where she's you know, buffing for me, but we'll kind of see how all that ends up working out. Where'd you go? There you go. Get out of here. Eula pretty much chews up everything still. She's one of my, you know, tried and tested, or, you know, what is it? Tried, tested, and proven lawnmowers. She pretty much eats everything. Where is this ginseng flower? I think it's, oh, it's pointing me at this is what it's pointing me at. I think that flower is probably up above. So what I need to do is actually teleport not to that spot, but up here, and then probably come at it from the other side. If I have Eula, Ayaka, or Ganyu, they're still strong. They are strong even without their skills. Traveler isn't able to do any of their skills locked. Their skills locked at all. Yeah, it is. And Jean can heal even without her skill. That's true. Jean can heal without her skill because she heals on 50% of normal attacks. So yeah, there are some strategies that you can use to kind of cheat your way through that if you have certain characters for sure. And Ganyu is definitely a really good character for dealing consistent damage if you have her. If you don't, then I would recommend rolling for her in her rerun banner coming soon. I'd assume Yunjin uses the same boss as Ito. Maybe? I mean, that seems possible, right? But she is a Lua character, so it's possible that they, you know, they could intentionally shift that to be something else. There it is. I had to go like way out of my way to get one more Genshin flower. That was kind of weird. All right, so then the next one will be up here, so I need to probably teleport again. I used Electro Traveler and used him as my main DPS at that time since I want to be as close to the lore story as possible. That was painfully fun, to say the least. Painfully fun. Interesting. I almost wish, on hearing you say that,
More speed.
I almost wish that we could replay that fight just so I could... Oh, I missed. Just so I could see what that's like. It sounds awful, though. It does. It kind of sounds terrible, like one of those like weird challenge type things that people do just to punish themselves, like, you know, Energy Amplifier, you know, arbitrary, you know, high scores for no reason. Obviously I didn't max out any of them, but if I wanted to sit around and punish myself, I could, you know, keep trying. Obviously getting a score of 21,500 after only, you know, an hour's worth of time investment is something that I'm not too disappointed with, though. Is this another teen scene? Probably not. Oh no, they're violet grass. You know what though? There's 4 violet grass here. I seize, I grabs. All right. For violet grass, like, I don't know. Like, I get the feeling that it's, you know, I haven't had to level a character that needed it in a while. But just because you don't need it right now doesn't mean you won't need it later. So I'm grabbing it now. Remember, you can collect the Genshin seeds and plant them in your pot. So tell me something, actually, because I have actually never utilized the whole like seed system. What's the efficiency on planting them in your pot versus actually just grabbing them in the world? Is that actually like worth it? Is it efficient enough to give you decent collection? So like if you plant a whole bunch of them in your pot, what do you just like collect enough of them to replant them and just do that again so that you can get them regularly or something? I've not really sat down and done the math on like how effective that may or may not be. And maybe I should. That's something I've never really even thought about utilizing, is the seed system, because like it's been in the game for a little while now, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's the thing I can do. One of these days I'll learn about it, but you know, like I so infrequently just get to chill out and play the game. Like right now, the only reason I'm even farming for these Genshin seed is because I'm actively streaming at the moment. Like, you know, between work and channel stuff and all that, like it's just a lot of work. So usually I don't get to actually hang out and play as much as I would like. Tavita story, they take like 2 days or whatever. Is that too like to grow? Interesting. Better grab them from the world. Plus you can only do 8. Yeah, okay. 4 per square. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I never really got super interested in hunting for seeds and all that too, is that like the plots are kind of limited. But honestly, like if I were to sum up the the entirety of the teapot in one word, I would say limited is the word I would sum it up with. I love the teapot, don't get me wrong. It's an awesome system, and I love that they added it because it has been a great tool for me as a a content creator, because I can create scenes for my videos, and I love that. But I am constantly wrestling with load on my teapots. Like for some, like if it gives you a feature where you can put 8 characters in the world, I'll be damned if I'm not going to put all 8 of those characters in the world, and then also a Paimon, because you can also do that. But they take so much load. I don't understand why characters and animals take so much load. Like, obviously, like I don't understand how they've coded everything, but like it seems weird to me that they consume so much more load than everything else. And then do they not are they not subject to the that same new system that they implemented in like 2.2, where if you have multiple of the same kind of item, they take slightly less load for each subsequent one? Like, I don't know. I really don't. Load is stupid high on characters and animals. Yeah, it's insanity how high the animals load draw is. I really wish it weren't so bad. There is absolutely no reason not to be able to put more things in. Yeah, I don't understand. MiHoYo just want to limit the fun. I see the thing that I'm thinking that they might have like load limits and stuff on it is keeping things like functional for probably like mobile users or something is kind of what I think it is. But you know, the last time I was like, this is probably a restriction built for mobile users that I considered was why they've seemed to have arbitrarily capped the in-game frame rate at 60 at the beginning. And then shortly after they released, or well, actually, I want to say it was not that long ago. I think it was again 2.2 maybe, or 2.1 or 2.2 around there. They actually did change it to where some mobile devices can actually boost the frame rate to 120. But PC still can't. And I don't understand that because, you know, I would absolutely change my frame rate to 120 if I could. But they won't let me. And my computer absolutely can handle it, so I'm not worried about that. But like they still won't allow us to do that. And like that actually has been something I've submitted feedback on as well, especially where slow-mo scenes are concerned. So like if I'm having to slow something down for a shot, that scene is highly dependent on how many frames are available when you record it. So except where pre-rendered scenes are concerned. So if I'm recording something straight off the screen that's rendered from the game engine directly, though, it's going to be subject to how many frames my system can push. And so if they would increase the amount of frames, then I could actually slow down, freeze frames, or create better slow-mo footage because there's more frames available for me. But I've not been able to do that because it's restricted still to 60 frames arbitrarily. And so the point of this is that I had always assumed that was because they were, making that, for mobile users, so that, mobile users wouldn't have, so much game stress. But only mobile has the option, only some mobile devices specifically have the option to increase the frame rate to 120 frames per second, which is crazy to me, because like my phone won't let me do it. But I only have an 11 Pro Max, iPhone 11 Pro Max, so like it's a little bit on the older side, which is funny because when I bought that phone, it was like Genshin Impact was, looking like it was poised to get ready to come out, and it ended up being like 9 months later. But when I bought that phone, I was like, yeah, this phone will be really good for that. If I want to play it on my phone, it'll be awesome. And now, that phone is, comparatively old already. Sag. Let's see. Eventually, because of the, I play on iPad, which is technically mobile, and I've never had a problem with anything speed related or whatever. Not anything, even overheating with all settings maxed, and it was still fine. Well, that's good to know. I've actually been considering getting one of the larger format iPads, and I think it will be helpful for for content creation purposes, for like giving me another window for reading chat or whatever I need. Like all that stuff would be really, really handy. So I've been considering getting one of those, and actually like loading Genshin onto it is something that I hadn't even thought about until just now. But it would be nice to have a larger screen available to me if I'm playing the game like on my couch or something like that, or on a slow day at work or something. So that could be cool. I'm using 75 walls to make my maze in the teapot. So it does it does stack load on the same objects, but the house and game mechanic is on the land as well. Yeah. So you have 75 walls to... I'm curious, Warpaint Unicorns. You said you use 75 walls to make your maze. Does the section of your teapot that the maze is in, is it only your maze, and is your load maxed with those 75 walls? Just out of curiosity, because I'm just kind of like curious as to whether or not like you could even fit more if you wanted to. All right, well, these guys will die fast enough, especially if I keep hitting them in the back. All right, you can knock that off. Oh, come on. Get out of here, man. Did that one jump off the cliff? Ugh.
I condemn you.
Yes, I do. All right. Yeah, he did jump off the cliff, didn't he? This was one of the spots I was thinking of that I thought had more Chinsian flowers on it than one. God, the one that jumped off the cliff is gonna keep the music going forever until I go down and get him. Fine. All right, you gotta go, man. You're driving me crazy over here. Get out of here. Thank you. All right. So there's got to be more of these flowers up here as well. I totally recommend AirPad or iPad Air or Max. They do everything incredibly. Noted. Noted. Where is this other? Oh, it's a violet grass. Okay. And then there's another one over here. What part of the map am I even on right now? Okay, I see. There should be 3 around here. And I think I got the one that was in the very center of it. And I think, yeah, so here's another one. And then, is this one? I don't think this one over here would be one, although it could be. Maybe it's, no, it's a violet grass. Although I see another violet grass over there too. Yeah, I'm definitely not passing up any violet grasses that I see. Who knows when you'll need them again. Wolf, I am using the interactive map, but the thing is the interactive map isn't, you know, necessarily foolproof. Like, you get kind of in the vicinity of it, and then I use Chi-Chi to kind of narrow it down. But I have the interactive map pulled up on my other monitor right now, so that does make it a good deal easier when you're hunting for this crap. Why not just make more via the teapot? What do you... I'm not sure if I know what... Oh, God. What just happened? Okay. Come on, Eula. You can do it. Okay. She's good. Takes a while for only 8. Plus, he hasn't bothered with it, really, if I recall. Yeah, I haven't. Like, getting things going in the teapot is something, like, with seed farming and all that, it's just something I've really ever put a lot of time investment into. So, like, that would actually kind of be going backwards, I think, for me right now. All right, so I got all the ones there. I need to go a little bit further south. There should be a couple more. I don't think this is one, but I'm going to run at it anyways, just in case. It's probably another violet grass. Yeah, it is. Okay, I knew it would be. I need a new pair of wings for Eula. Like, these work nice enough. I think they look good, but I want, like, an actual, like, set of, like, cryo-themed, wings for my Eula. I think that would be awesome. I can't wait till we get to Snezhnaya in, like, 4 years. All right, so I need to go more this way. Wait, where even am I right now compared to... Okay, they should be right here. So I need to go down just a little bit. A little bit more to the south. Yeah, there should be 2 right over here. Yeah, I have... if so, Redhorn? What are you talking about? I don't know. I think I missed something there. Yeah, it's good, but it can be annoying for narrowing down the location, especially in Liyue. Like, you know, like, where Liyue is concerned, you're constantly dealing with, you know, like, altitude variance, which can make things really challenging to narrow down locations. Yeah, there should be 2 right around here that I don't see, and they're not showing up on my map unless I already grabbed them recently. And that seems impossible because I don't really recall ever having been over here anytime recently. So that's weird. Maybe I just already got them and I don't remember. I don't think this over here would be one. It's probably another violet grass. It's just like kind of a weird flex Genshin Impact that, like, I'm looking for Chinsin flowers, right? But I keep finding violet grass, which is like one of the other really annoying ones to find. But of course, it doesn't want to give you the ones that you need. So there's also that. What are you guys talking? Alexa and James Turner trust us. Rev loves doing that. I'm assuming you're meaning antagonizing me. And yes, that's true. Rev does like antagonizing me, but that's okay because whenever he's like co-op with me, he jumps off cliffs and does dumb things. So we're even. It's fun. And it's all in, you know, good spirits usually. Okay, so there should be a couple more south of here. So I might as well begin to discuss some of the new update stuff while we're here as well. There's a actual like login event for rewards for 7 days. Having a 7-day login reward is nice. I wish that there was a more like a more robust login system in the game, but you know, I'll take a 7-day one. What do you guys think about like the whole 7-day login reward? It's not something that they've done in every patch version. So like, do you guys think that a 7-day login event is actually a step in the right direction at least? Like, if they start doing it on every major patch, would that be something that everybody would be happier about? you know, it's to me it definitely factors under that category of like, hey, it's better than nothing, right? Like before we were getting, you know, nothing for daily login rewards. So if they start doing that with every new patch version, I think it's a good sign of change, and that they're actually responding to the players' wishes. You know, a lot of games, online games, I think specifically, really do not do a very good job of actually listening to the community where game mechanic changes are concerned. They want to stay plugged into their vision, and I think that that's important too, because you can't let the community water down your vision for the game. But where things like this are concerned, I think you absolutely can and should, because, you know, like a lot of the people who are submitting, you know, feedback for things like, you know, having daily login events where, you know, especially just getting character ascension materials, which is, you know, one of the things that really drags in this game, because it, you know, can be quite difficult to get enough of them together to build every character you want. There's just a lot of work involved. So having any event available to give us more is nice. Would you like to see more quantities from those kind of things, though? Is another thing. I feel like what they're doing with like the 7-day login reward that we have coming up right now, it's 1 intertwined fate at 1 day, 80,000 more on day 2, 2 more intertwined fate at day 3, 18 mystic enhancement ore at day 4, 2 more in intertwined fate at day 5, 8 heroes wit at day 6, and 5 intertwined fate at day 7. So we're getting a free 10 roll, which I think it's nice. I think that's a good play. But the thing that I would want to see increased on this, I would want to see the Mora be like 200,000. I'd want to see the Mystic Enhancement ore increased to like 50, and Hero's Wit at 50. I feel like they're being still maybe just a little stingy with the character enhancement materials. Give us enough character enhancement materials that they're not gone in a blip. Like, even at 50 and 50, they're going to be gone in a blip, right? Like, they're going to be still gone so fast that you barely ever registered having them. But at 18 and 8, like, it's even the 80k Mora is, it's not that much. I would like to, like, if I were to mention any specific thing that I would want to change about the 7-day login reward, it would be more character ascension materials, or character level up materials, because I feel like they're just not quite enough. My problem is that I log into the game, but I don't always log into the separate website. So yeah, you know, they've had a lot of like separate login events as well. Yeah, and that's the thing too. And so you can get, you know, separate rewards from those. I almost always forget about those. The story stuff that they do on those have questionable relationship to the game's canon anyways. So like they've never really drawn me like for, you know, really wanting to get involved. Some of them have been kind of cool. Even adding, you know, some really well put together like animation elements and stuff like that. Like, they're nice. Like, I don't want to say they're not high quality or anything, but I always forget about them. Like, they've kind of struggled with those, I think, to make me care about them enough to where I remember them regularly. Whereas, you know, login rewards that are just already there because, you know, you're just logging into the game, I think is the better platform, and they should probably just really bank on those as opposed to all this other, you know, out of game stuff. But I do like the one thing that they did do, I think, within like in the 2.0 era that they didn't do before that, was that they did start putting like an in-game like notice in to remind us that those things exist. And I do think that it reminds you daily. So I have been noticing it a lot more over the last couple of months. And although I will say still, at that point, like, whether or not I care enough to do it is another matter, because the rewards are usually kind of piddly, and I'm just like, I don't feel like putting the time investment in this for, you know, like 5 heroes wit or something like that. Like, it doesn't add up to be enough to where, you know, I want to do it. Or sometimes it's not even that much, you know, it's like 20k Mora or something like that, like something that just seems really inconsequential. Okay, that's why it's pulling me back over here to this. And honestly, I already got the Chin scene that was over here, so I don't even know that I need to stay in this area. I need to teleport elsewhere because I already got pretty much everything that was in this section of the map. So I need to head south. If we need to use resin for it, they will always short us on it. What do you, even with battle pass, I use them up so fast. Yes. So I also use my character level up materials really, really fast. And so, you know, again, some of you who have been with my streams for a long time will know that I do my best whenever new characters come out to put all of the new characters to use right away, to build parties around those characters so that people who are watching my streams can see what these characters are like, or if they have synergy with each other, that kind of thing. Whether or not, you know, I really get a full build on them, like a full, properly robust build, is a totally different matter. Like my Goro is not super well built. That is definitely a character that I basically threw together like very haphazardly. And he, you know, it's enough that he's usable. He's level 50 right now. He needs a lot of work. And none of his talents are leveled at all, like at all. Although, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and level that one up because that's the important one anyways. His elemental burst is also important, and I will boost these abilities. And you could see even in the event, in the Energy Amplifier event, my Ito was putting up what 40k normals with his burst on, up to 60k, 65k, somewhere in that area, with the buffs from my Ito from my Goro not even leveled. So he's already boosting that damage enough to where it's worthwhile. If I level these talents, it will be a lot better. But mostly what he's been just providing for my team is Noblesse Oblige, right? Like that's what he's been giving me. So that's where I'm actually probably getting more return right now because his talents are under leveled. So it's just like one of those things, like he's here, like I'm trying to build him up. I even built Toma, even though that was like a complete waste of resources because Toma's just not very good. Which is so sad because Toma's an awesome character, and I'm sad that they didn't let Toma be a good one of the good 4-stars. Like I want some of the new 4-star characters that they add to actually provide what's the word, like value to the meta. I feel like it's been a little while. Like Goro is the first new 4-star I think in a while that might actually end up being relevant in meta. And that's only going to be where Geo teams are concerned, right? It's not like he's not going to be, you know, a character that provides value like, you know, Bennett, who can basically, if you didn't C6 him like I did, he provides value to almost any team you put him in. Whereas, you know, being that I C6'd my Bennett, he only provides value to very specific team comps, you know, teams that are based on pyro characters, teams that are based on characters like Raiden Shogun who infusions will not override their main damage type, or catalyst teams where their type cannot be overwritten at all. So, you know, there's that element to it as well. But, you know, so Goro is really only useful with Geo teams. What I want to see is a new 4-star character that actually shows up and can actually provide like full-on benefit to lots of different teams again. And I'm kind of hoping that I don't really think that she will, but she could. Yunjin might actually be a character that could do that, but we'll see. It's going to take, you know, probably several weeks after the release of those characters to fully establish what their placement in the meta is going to be, or if they even have a placement in the meta, right? Because not every character even really gets one. You know, there's lots of characters who, you know, early on when the game first came out had placement in meta. And, you know, as new characters were released, their placement in meta basically got deleted, like Diluc. Like, nobody uses Diluc for almost anything. He's not really good at any one specific thing that other characters can't do, you know, way, way, way better. Let me just go ahead and cheat. I'll get my evil healed up really quick. But yeah, there's just nothing that can be done from that character that, you know, other characters can't do better. Like, why, like, if you have Eula, why would you ever use Diluc if you have Eula? Like, she's just a way better primary DPS catalyst character, like, or not catalyst, but great sword character. There is absolutely no reason to ever use him if you have her. And then there's also other better pyro characters than him. Xiangling is just a really amazing, just ridiculous, easy, free-to-play friendly character who provides way more pyro damage than Diluc could ever dream of. So again, you don't really need him. He has some interesting niche buff options and stuff that can be nice. I used him for a long time in my Vaporize comp because he can be useful for proccing Vaporize for, you know, Mona as a primary DPS. There's niche comps, but not anything meta. So I would love to see a 4-star character that can actually come in and shake up the meta a little bit. And that would be really nice. I don't, just by mere merit of being a Geo character, I'm not sure that Yunjin is destined to do that. She might be really good in Geo comps, but depending on what some of her skills do, she could end up being useful in, I want to say that actually during the live stream, they said something about her skills being useful for multi-element comps, which is interesting, right? Like that would be a reason to throw her in a non-resonance comp, or a comp with only a single resonance as opposed to a duo resonance. So maybe she's not meant to be used with Geo comps. Maybe she's meant to be used with other characters. And if that's the case, then maybe even like she'll have good synergy with characters like Shenhua, which is, you know, coming out on the same banner. So we could see.
You want to learn some Favonia's
Diluc is only being used for his bird to kill Timmy's birds, so it's bird versus bird fight. Yeah, I mean, one could argue that I don't even use him for that anymore, but yeah, that is actually something like back in the day I did use Diluc for a lot as well, was killing Timmy's birds. Nowadays, you know, Ganyu does that way better, but yeah, I mean, not everybody has Ganyu. A lot more people have Diluc than Ganyu, obviously. Xiangling is Pyro Carry. Xiangling is Pyro Carry. For real. Like, those characters don't even really compare, I think, in my eyes. Like, Diluc has been outclassed in Pyro production by so many other Pyro characters. Honestly, I would sooner build a team around Yanfei than Diluc, sadly. All right, well, that squirrel wants to live. I'm gonna leave him alone. But yeah, yeah, I would sooner build a party around Yanfei than I would around Diluc. And you know, and that's kind of sad, really, when you consider that my Diluc has a Wolf's Gravestone that's R3. He does. He has an R3 Wolf's Gravestone. I would sooner use Yanfei. And I want to say most of the time when I have put Diluc to use, it's been because of that Wolf's Gravestone. And oftentimes, I still haven't felt that to be a compelling enough reason to use him. So, I don't know. Maybe in the future, I've really wanted to, like, throw that Wolf's Gravestone on, like, Beidou and actually put her to use for something. Beidou is really, really nasty with a lot of characters and has really good synergy with a lot of characters. I want to say one of the characters that I've had the most fun using Beidou with is Mona, especially early on. Mona and Beidou have really nice synergy because of all the electro charged reactions that you'll be generating and all the extra damage that'll just be getting slung everywhere. There's got to be one. Yep, I knew it. Oh, come on, he bounced over it in kind of an awkward direction. Okay, he didn't get to do anything, so that's cool. I never pass up Whopper Flowers if I see them. So let's see, what else do we have on here? Flowing lights and colors, lantern, right gifts. So adventure rank 2 or above. We're getting more, looks like, oh, these are login dates. What is this? February 9th. So we're actually getting more sets of rewards. This is another one of the, is this a online event or something? Flowing lights and colors, lantern right gift. So I actually think this is something else. This is for the lantern right gift. On February 9th, we're getting another Intertwined Fate. On February 11th, we're getting another one. And on February 13th, we're getting another one. But there's also a Reward 2 and Reward 3 that is giving us Ascension books, some cooking materials, Sanctifying Unction. What the? I don't even know what that is. 5 heroes wit, another small amount of heroes wit, which doesn't really seem to qualify for anything to me. Okay, so another event that we do have coming up as well is one called Fleeting Colors in Flight. And that's the one that we'll have to do to get Ningguang's outfit. So that's actually something I've been meaning to talk about as well is... Oh, hey, I got one of the events going over here. Oh, God, it's for those guys, though. I hate them so much. I'll probably still do it, but I want to get whatever this item is here. Anyways, so are you guys excited about the new costumes? And who's been, like, kind of, like, just, like, low-key sitting on Ningguang all this time without ever putting her to use? like I have. Like, my Ningguang has not really been built ever, and I've kind of wanted to get her going for a long time, and I've just not really felt the need to do it. But now that she's got a costume coming out, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to finally put Ningguang to use, because it's not like she's a bad character. She's certainly not a bad character. She's always been pretty effective as a Geo producer. And especially if you have some of the better weapon options for her. You can get good returns if you have Skyward Atlas. You can get good returns from Solar Pearl, from Dodoko Tails, even Royal Grimoire. I think you can get really good returns from her. I actually have always been partial to Royal Grimoire, and the tests that I did made it look like that weapon will actually provide really good feedback for most producers. But some people prefer others. Widsith is also really good, but it's not consistent. But it does give crit damage, which is really nice. So there's always, you know, a compelling argument to be made for Widsith. If you want to use that weapon as well. It said in the list of stuff that's coming for 2.4 that Sakura Tree can be up to 50. Oh, hey, that's actually really cool. And I've been waiting for that for a little while. Because, you know, like, we've got some of those other doors that we can't open, like the I forget what they're called right now, with the where you open the magical locked gate and you get the chest that's inside them. I can't think of what they're called right now. I don't know why I can't get the word. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it. But yeah, there's like a couple of those. Like, I think one over in Surumi that I haven't been able to open that's been just taunting me like, hey, you can't get me. There's a nice chest in here, but you can't get it. And it's been sitting there staring at me for a while. But yeah, so Ningguang and Keqing's costumes. I know that, you know, Keqing, it has sadly been I feel like an underutilized character in the game for a long time. I, for one, have always liked that character, and I find her combat to be enjoyable. In fact, I've been just running Eula here for a little while because she's super broken, really broken. But you know what? I'm gonna bring my Keqing out for a little bit.
Time is against us.
Let's run her for a little bit because she's also a good character for you know, exploration and getting to things that you wouldn't normally be able to get to super easily. So I'll also use her for that. But I've always enjoyed Keqing. I think she's a really fun character. I'm definitely going to get her costume. She's not in the meta, which I think is a crying shame again, because like, she's really fun, but she's so stamina hungry that she's really hard to make work effectively in the meta. Because, you know, as soon as you get any kind of momentum going, you've lost everything. Oh, that's why I had a great sword character in the damn party, because I need somebody to break stones so that I can get them off the tracker. So let me go ahead and throw a different... I could just put Eula back in the party. I could. I'll just throw Eula back in the party so that I can still break stuff. I could actually throw another character in to support her if I really wanted to, just to buff my Keqing up further. I want to say that... Do I have Tenacity of Millilith on my... No, I think I still have Bolide on that character. I'm just trying to think like who else would be good at rock breaking. I think Zhongli is also... He's always really good at breaking rocks. You know what? Sure. Zhongli time. I'll just do that. There we go. Then all the rocks will just die immediately and I don't even have to really think about it anymore. But yeah, I mean, like, she's really good for dispatching small enemies for sure. Like, you see, I just deleted that Hilly Churl. He had no chance. But as soon as you need to, you know, get into like any kind of like larger brawl, like, she kind of gets outclassed by a lot of other characters. So I find it to be kind of curious that they've chosen to make a costume for Keqing at this moment, because she's not relative or relevant in the meta. And same with Ningguang for that matter. Neither of them are relevant in the meta at all. But they're not bad characters, and they certainly do have followings. Like, there's definitely people who think like Ningguang is my favorite character, people who think that like Keqing is my favorite character, like, and I don't mean me specifically, like, that's me speaking for others who like those are their favorite characters. Those are definitely people who, you know, exist. They love those specific characters and they're going to use them by, you know, what is it, hell or high water. Like, they're definitely going to use them. And so I feel like the fact that they've chosen to go ahead and give those people costumes for those characters, I think that's great. That's a good platform to stand on as well. You know, maybe not necessarily just make costumes for the most popular characters, which you know, or meta defining characters is maybe a good idea. You know, you don't want to necessarily, what is it, toss all your eggs in one basket. You know, if they keep just plugging all the same characters over and over again, people can get kind of tired of them. Kuching, love her, and Liuli Electro Archon. Oh, you're talking about, okay, I gotcha. My favorite color is blue, so their new skins are perfection. Yeah, I agree. Blue is also my favorite color, but as a secondary, I also really like purple. And so Kuching kind of hits both of those. So like from a purely like aesthetic standpoint for, you know, like color schemes and all that, like Kuching has actually always been one of my favorite designed characters. She isn't usually, you know, discussed for me on like who are my favorite characters in the game, but like because I really like, I have so many other characters that I like more. But I do think like from a purely aesthetic standpoint, Kuching would be probably in like the top 5. I think for me from I think her design is really cool kind of discussion. Let's see. Kuching is my Electro Archon and Ningguang is my Geo Archon. That I think is probably, you know, the kind of like thoughts that a lot of people have about some of these characters. Like they, you know, just because they're not relevant in the meta doesn't necessarily mean that people don't love them. So giving those characters costumes, I think, is a good play. And also just having a new costume, you might see some uptick from things like Kuching being, you know, played a little bit more as well. Like her selection rate in Abyss is pretty, well, for, you know, no pun intended, abysmal. Like people don't really take her to the Abyss because she just eats your stamina too fast. If you want to use Kuching effectively, because she can produce good damage, if you want to use her effectively in the Abyss, you usually have to back her into a wall and make sure that your charge shot spamming, you know, facing a wall, or with her back to a wall so that she can't back up every time you do it, because that's what happens. She just backs herself up and then you get stuck. But if you're up against an edge or a wall, then she won't go backwards, and the enemies, if they're big or medium-sized enemies, they don't get knocked away. But little enemies just get, you know, blasted away from her, and it's frustrating. And yeah, so she doesn't have a high selection rate in the Abyss. But having a costume for her, I think, is still cool, and having a costume for Ningguang, I think, is also really cool. And so, you know, the 4-star character costumes are free, which I think is awesome. Honestly, like, that's a pattern now. We now know that every time they release a 4-star costume, from the look of things, those will be released as a quest item. So, like, you'll be able to do a quest and get them for free. And honestly, you know, on further evaluation, I feel like that's kind of a lost thing in gaming. Like costumes as content and quests in games. You know, like some of the first online games I had ever played were games like Lineage 2. And that game was a $15 a month subscription MMO. But there were no microtransactions. Everything you wanted in the game was content. Every costume was content. Every weapon skin was content. Everything that existed in that game, you did a quest for, and you got it as a reward, just by merit of playing the game. And in the age of microtransactions, that has kind of disappeared, which is sad. But, you know, it also has given more capital to games to allow, you know, some of these games that, you know, are trying to build a concurrent world that's always updating and always changing. It gives them more capital to work with. And Genshin Impact, you certainly can't ever claim that they don't spend their capital on the game. They definitely reinvest a lot of that money back in the game, for quality voice acting in several different languages, to making, you know, high-end cutscenes, you know, designing more characters constantly. Like, I can only imagine what the production cycles are like to make, you know, 2 new characters every 6 weeks. That's not easy. You know, like, they have to, like, it takes a lot of time, and the kind of lead time that they need to do that and get them, you know, at a point where they're not glitchy or buggy or anything like that. Like, that takes a lot of time. So, you know, they definitely do a lot of reinvestment with the money that they're making hand over fist on this game. So I think that that's also a good platform. And for them to be giving us free costumes, which cost them money to make, is a great thank you to the players. Granted, it's for 4-star characters, which so far the 4-star characters that have gotten them have not necessarily been relevant to meta. nobody really uses Barbara for anything after like AR-45. And nobody really uses Ningguang for like anything unless you're just one of those people who really like Ningguang, and that's perfectly fine as well. Like, I also really think Ningguang is a super awesome character, but I've just never felt the need to prioritize building her. But with a new costume, I now think that I finally will. I'm kind of at a point where I've been wanting to build her for a long time. I don't have anything against that character. I've always thought she looked cool, but with a new costume, I think it'll be a little bit more compelling. And I think that that could be true for Keqing as well. But also, how many of you out there, like here in the chat, like, are you guys going to be buying the Keqing costume? Like, I think one of the things that I think that they did as a good standpoint as well is like their costumes aren't super overpriced. So again, going back to MMOs, for that standpoint, the last MMO that I played, and I still play it periodically, but I don't really do anything outside of just like getting like daily logins for it when I remember, is Black Desert Online. And that game has insanely expensive costumes. The costume, don't get me wrong. The costumes in that game are beautiful. They're well designed. But they are expensive. They're usually in the $25 to $32 area, depending on which aspects of the costume you want. If you want the whole thing, if you want the weapon skins that match it, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty pricey. Having come off of, other MMOs where costumes were more like in the area of like, $15 to $20, that seems excessive to me, and I really didn't appreciate that the costumes were that expensive, and it kind of made me not want to buy them. Fortunately, you could actually just, people could resell those costumes like on the market. You can just buy them for in-game gold, so you could kind of sidestep the the real world cost. But I guess the other silver lining to that is that up until pretty recently, they just never designed costumes anyways. Like, they would basically design one new costume a year for the classes that I played, and I was like kind of unfulfilled by that because your character only really changes appearance once a year. That's not enough. So I wasn't really, I had kind of been losing interest in playing that game regularly just because like my character didn't really get to like look like it was experiencing any growth, because you only wear costumes in that game. You don't wear armor because the armor makes you look like you're running around in a potato sack usually. So you were very reliant on costumes. Genshin Impact, the character designs are awesome, so you're not worried about costumes. But if they're going to add them and they're priced well, awesome. And I do think that like the pricing for the previous one that they made was good, and I'm sure that the Keqing costume is going to be the same. It'll probably be, what was it, I think $15 or $16 at first, and it will go up to $20 after the event, after the patch version ends. But it will stay there forever for you to buy it if you want it, as opposed to being taken away and then you can never get it again, which is also something that a lot of games do, where they'll release it for a short period of time hoping that everybody will impulse buy it, and then they take it away afterwards. So that's not something that they did with the Jean and Barbara costume. Well, the Barbara costume was limited because the event that you got it from went away. But the Jean costume has remained available, and I think that that's good that they did that way. But also, I think here's another thing that I think is worth noting, is that they've only so far, and I would hold short of calling this a pattern, but it kind of is starting to look like one. They've only designed costumes for the 5-star characters who are on the normal banner. So it's Keqing and Jean so far. And so what do you like in the chat? What do you guys think about that? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, actually, because so far it's like, the very popular 5-star characters that everybody, goes to the limited banners to get. You're not probably going to, we may not see costumes for them as frequently because less people have them by comparison to the standard banner characters. Because every time you lose a 50-50, if you don't get a weapon, you'll get, one of those characters instead. So like, those are the characters that more people are likely to have. And I think, from a commercial standpoint, that's probably why they produce costumes for the standard banner characters instead. Is because, they're gonna pitch to a wider audience. More people are going to be likely to buy those costumes because more people will have those characters. Whereas the limited characters, people probably don't even have them, so they're not going to get super great sales on them. I would say probably, a few exceptions to the rule exist. Like, probably after Ganyu's banner, most people who want Ganyu will probably have her. Raiden Shogun was the biggest banner success ever, so they could probably make a Shogun costume. I hope they do. Honestly, what I would love to see them make is not necessarily even like an event-themed costume for Raiden Shogun. I would like it if they'd make a costume for Venti, for Barbados specifically. So like his manga Barbados costume, Zhong Li's Rex Lapis like Archon War era costume, and A's Archon War era costume, like those outfits. I would love to see skins for those. I hope they do it. Characters like Lisa, Amber, Jean all have Kaya, Diluc all have secondary costumes in the manga that already exist there that I think would be awesome if they released as costumes in the game for use. So I think that also could be something interesting for them to explore, and I would love to see them do that as well. Okay, so possibly Chi-Chi costume. Yeah. So Andy is scared of open doors. Yeah, I think a Chi-Chi costume is a distinct possibility. Because standard banner characters. But the thing that's exciting to me about that, and like you guys can probably already see where I'm gonna go with this, is standard banner costumes, and my favorite character in the game is still Mona. So that means Mona, like if this does establish as a pattern, Mona is one of the more likely characters to get a costume made for her, and I think that could be really cool. Like I'm just kind of excited to see what they could do with that, because Mona dresses like all the other Fontaine characters. They kind of have like a magician's assistant kind of theme about them. So if that does end up being the case, would they break from that theme, or would it continue to be the same? It's hard to say. We can't, we can only speculate, but I would like to see a costume for Mona. She's my favorite character, so like I'm impartial to that, or I'm partial to that specifically, I should say. So Diluc and Mona's costume might be a thing then. Yes, exactly. I think Diluc, Mona, and Chi-Chi are probably, on this pace, among the most likely characters to get costumes. Even though Chi-Chi and Diluc are still not relevant to meta, Mona is relevant to meta where freeze comps are concerned. So, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of surprised about, is that they've so the first costume they made was for Jean. Jean's obviously still relative and relevant in the meta, rather. That's a character who gets a lot of use in a lot of different aspects, even for events and for the Spiral Abyss. She's, undeniably one of the better healers in the game. She actually can still put up some decent damage numbers, so she's a high pick for that. People want healers that can kind of punch out of their class a little bit. And that's why they made the Ocean Hued Clam set as well. So, there was a set in the game that would allow healers to do a little bit more damage. So Chi-Chi can actually put up a little bit more damage, and I think that helps a little bit with her selection rate in the Spiral Abyss. I still bring Chi-Chi to the Spiral Abyss from time to time where, I want cryo resonance, but, I need healing. I could still, arguably do that with Diona, and in a lot of cases I will take Diona over Chi-Chi still, because Diona also functions as a phenomenal battery, which is something that, Chi-Chi cannot do, because she does not regenerate particles on her main skill, which is super disappointing. I would love it if they would actually fix that. I think if they actually made Chi-Chi regenerate particles on her main skill, her selection rate would go up a lot, but it's something that I guess they just decided they didn't want to do. Archon costumes should be so awesome. Yeah, Vega AI, Archon costumes I think is something that they should absolutely do. And I know I've seen some pictures that people have posted on Twitter where they've made like modified versions, like they've basically made some of the Archon costumes as like reskins for their game, and it's like, you're not supposed to do that stuff. You're not supposed to mess with the game client files and all that stuff. So I would never actually put those to use unless they actually officially made those costumes. But because fans have done it, why aren't they doing it? Like I would love it if they would do that. I think that they really should consider doing that, and soon. Those are characters that everybody, like the Archons, are fan favorites across the board. There's lots of people that, like because of his personality really love Venti. Because of their personality really love Zhong Li. Because she's insanely powerful really love A. Like those characters I think would be great. Like from a, you know, again, a commercial standpoint, I think that they, you know, they would see really good sales returns from those costumes. So I'm not really sure why they haven't invested time and development money into making costumes for them, or more costumes in general. But maybe they're afraid, you know, to over tap their player base. So maybe they just don't want to release too many costumes because they don't want to overwhelm the community with too many, you know, things that are paid for, because the banners themselves are expensive. They are. And that might be why we haven't seen that many costumes. But one could argue that, you know, it's almost like a quality of life thing, right? Like, if costumes exist for a character that you really like, you might be more inclined to invest in that than, say, a banner for a character that you don't even know is going to be good or not. You know, that's why content creators exist, though. We can, you know, help you home in as to whether or not you want those characters. If you don't want to do it on the first day, most of us will do it on the first day, and then, you know, let you know whether or not this character is worth investing in. Especially guys like Xiox, where that's their entire platform. So I've been playing for over a year now, but I still don't have Chi-Chi. Wow, that's surprising. I think I didn't get Chi-Chi for like the first 6 months. And then, you know, I've gotten her 5 more times since. So she's been one of the more consistent pity poppers for my account, sadly. I need to go across the way to... where is that one? I'm not even seeing where this one is. It's over... Okay, it's over here is where I need to go. Wow, that's actually pretty far away. Surprise. Oh, wait, no. That's actually not even it, is it? It's... here? Looks like it's over here. Which, if that is the right spot... No, that's not it either. I'm having a hard time homing in on the right part of the map where this next Chinseen flower is. It's north... It's here. Okay. I'm going to teleport here and just walk down to it. Isn't Mona, like, so proud of her astrologist title and whatnot? Unless it's still very related, I find it difficult for her to get a costume. So here's the thing. You know, if you were to go straight by the, like, it's hard to believe the character would get a costume thing, Jean got a costume. She's, you know, like, nothing if she's not practical, right? Like, they basically had to twist her arm for an event and have Lisa design her one for her to go to the beach. Like... I wouldn't count any character out from, like, a lore reason to have a costume. They'll find a reason to make that work. They will. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Like, they, again, could just be very easily, like, you know, somebody made her a costume or something. Like, Klee gets involved, or Lisa, or somebody gets involved or something, and all of a sudden Mona has a costume. Like, that could be explained away very, very easily. So... I wouldn't really concern myself with that as a reason for her to not get one. I think the flower that I'm trying to get is actually up here, so I need to go up this rock wall. Because I'm over... Yeah, I'm below it, so I gotta go up there. I actually need to check how many I have. I probably still have under 100. I probably still have under 80, if I had to guess, but we'll see. TH, I remember using Chi-Chi in Theater Mechanicus during one of your lives when you didn't have Chi-Chi, and then making 2020 damage. Yeah, back in the day. Back in the day. I want to say, yeah, I did not end up getting Chi-Chi on one of my streams, but I ended up getting it on one of, like, the random roll. I ended up getting her on one of the random rolls that I did in between streams, even. Oh, come on. You're dead. Can't believe the freaking boar, like, charged right into me. You're dead immediately. Get out of here. I'm a little spiteful of the boars if they hit me. Sometimes I'll leave boars alone if they don't hit me, but if they hit me, they're going down immediately. I don't know if you guys are the same. Do any of you guys have vendettas against the boars if they hit you? Because they're going down the moment they do that. Why can't I seem to find this one? It should be right around here. I guess it's a little bit more to the west. Actually, it might be that one that the marker is on, now that I'm looking at it. So I'm going to head back over that way. I don't have Chi-Chi either. Got a C2 Diluc though. Yeah. Diluc has been one of the more reliable pity poppers for me. Chi-Chi is still lower constellation than Diluc, Jean, and Keqing, all of whom are C5 now. My Chi-Chi, I think, is C4. And my Mona, who is my favorite character and is the, you know, the one among the basic banner characters, is the one that I've gotten the least constellations on still, which is so sad to me. It's like they know. They're like, nah, screw TH. We're not going to give him, you know, constellations for his favorite character. It took forever for me just to get C2 on her. It was well over a year before I finally got C2, but she is still only C2. Whereas all of the other standard banner characters are 4 or 5 now. I don't know how that works, but, you know, there you go. That's just what my experience has been for it. Try your hand at Theater Mechanicus. Yeah, haven't heard that in a little while. OG Theater Mechanicus rerun. So, Theater Mechanicus rerun. Please don't do it the way you did it the last time, MiHoYo. If anybody from MiHoYo watches any of my live streams, I don't know if they do. I don't know if they actually do that. MiHoYo, your first Theater Mechanicus was genius. I loved that one just the way it was. It worked perfectly. The second Theater Mechanicus was really hard if you did it by yourself, such to the point that it wasn't even fun. And if you did it with co-op with another player, it was so easy that it wasn't even fun. And picking all the little stick things was too complicated. It was too complicated. Don't do that again, please. Let the boars be. They are annoying. Yes, they are. Tavada Story, what are your thoughts on the Interlude Archon quest? Interlude Archon quest. Is that I think is what's coming up, right? Is that no, you're talking about like the very first one, like right at the beginning of the game? Is that the one that you're talking about? No, Interlude would be later, right? I'm not even sure which one qualifies as Interlude Archon quest off the top of my head right now. So, all right, looking back at the patch notes, just to continue this conversation as well. And speaking of Archon Quest, because that actually is next. Archon Quest Interlude, Chapter, Act 1, The Crane Returns on the Wind. So that is the name of the next Archon Quest, the Crane Returns on the Wind, which I think is not a stretch of the imagination to say that it seems like the next Archon Quest is kind of geared around Shenhua. So that should be interesting. I'm actually glad that they're gonna, you know, like early on they had so many characters that it was very difficult for them to give every character screen time. Poor Xinyan, it took forever for them to give her any screen time. So like she didn't get anything until, you know, what, 2.3, right? Where with the Shikigami event, or was that? No, this is 2.3. 2.2 with the Shikigami event. Oh, well, actually, I think it was the end of 2.1, right? When she got in the Lunar Festival event, she got a little screen time in that. Not a lot, but something. It was better than nothing. Oh, I actually already got the ones that were over here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Those were the first ones I got. So, but these days they seem to be giving a little bit more screen time to the new characters right when they come out, and they, you know, the story kind of allows them to capitalize on the popularity of the new characters a little bit, which I think is, you know, probably a good platform for them. But it also, I think, most importantly, helps us to understand who the new characters are from a lore perspective. We get to see what their placement in the world is, and, you know, understand more about those characters in general, which, as somebody who is invested in this game thoroughly as a, you know, lore content creator, that's a huge deal to me. You know, and, you know, for some people that probably doesn't matter as much, but for me that's always been really important. So the new Archon quest will seem to be based around you know, Shenhua and what's going on with her. Some of you may or may not follow me on Twitter, actually, speaking of Shenhua. And so I've had a few people remark in some of my community posts that there's been some, I don't want to say drama, might not be the right word to choose, but like there's been some discussion in you know, between, you know, community members about how the writing team for Genshin Impact chose the term homicidal nature for Shenhua in the special program. And so, you know, I've done a little research on it. I've seen a few other conversations about it where people are exploring the direct Chinese translation words that were chosen to kind of figure out, you know, maybe what it is that they were trying to say, and trying to you basically make arguments that, you know, homicidal nature was not the right words to choose for it. After kind of seeing the research that other people have done on it, I don't agree that it wasn't the right word to choose, but I think that I feel like it was the right word to choose, but maybe it's not necessarily obvious what they were trying to do with that. So they've kind of established the idea, especially if you've seen the trailer that they put out for the teaser trailer that they put out for her yesterday, that she's been considered a cursed child. So she grew up kind of, her life was kind of rough. It seems like people who were around her are, hurt or killed somehow. And so like maybe it seems like her parents even, or the people who were around her when she was a child, began to, see her as an omen of bad luck. Like she's the reason harm befalls people that are around her. So to me, it seems like this idea of homicidal nature should be taken more as a personality trait of the character, not that she is going around, like fighting an urge to murder people, but rather when people are hurt or killed around her because she is cursed, she perceives that inwardly as her fault. Like she is accepting responsibility for the curse that is on her. Whether or not she indeed has one, we don't know, or whether or not this is just, one of those things that just happens to people who are around her and, it's not even related to her, but coincidental. But one way or the other, she herself describes it as a homicidal nature, may be indicative of the fact that she accepts that blame, and she like literally feels like she is murdering these people, not, against her own will. Like that's why she lives in seclusion with the Adeptus. She lives away from everybody else, and even the Adeptus are like, you need to be wearing these ropes to suppress the curse or whatever. But she accepts that that curse and says, people die when they're around me. I'm a murderer. So basically she feels like she's a murderer. And like that I think is very telling too. Again, if you look at that trailer, like she's looking at herself, she's putting on the little ropes, like she's got like the little rope earrings that she puts on, and she's smiling as she looks in her reflection, and then her smile kind of fades away, and she's revealed to be, very sad and lonely. Like you can tell she would love to have companionship of some kind, but that's not in the cards for her because she's self-perceived to have that curse. So the homicidal nature that she has isn't to say that she's a killer herself, but rather an inward reflection of her own circumstances. She accepts that she thinks that she's a murderer, even though she herself is not the one killing people. It's the curse that people say is on her that's killing people. So I feel like it might be a confusing way of getting to that point. It's not necessarily clear, but on some research and reflection, that's what I arrived on as why they've probably chosen that term. We don't have confirmation that she feels that way, but I suspect that she does, because otherwise why use that term? Like the writing team almost never arbitrarily chooses to write things a specific way. Like they're not just like, yeah, we can just do this. That MiHoYo has never proven themselves to be that. Like they usually think things out better. So I'm not willing to sit here and just say like, yeah, they chose that arbitrarily and it doesn't work. Like, no, there's a reason why they chose that. And I'd be willing to bet that it's because she's burdened by that curse, and she feels that she's a murderer. She feels that. So it could be because she's the one who said that she has a homicidal nature. It was her voice, not somebody else's. Shinhua must have miasma like Zhao or something. It's possible. Like, like she's not an Adeptus though. So like the whole Zhao was slowly corrupted by the karmic debt of killing all of the miasma over years. But there could be something akin to that going on. But maybe not identically the same. It could still be something related though. It's hard to say. I'm really, really, really excited to learn more about that character. I more than likely will be trying to rush level her friendship levels right away. Because something that I've been wanting to do is actually invest time into doing the origin stories for new release characters at a sooner point than I've ever done. Usually, I don't get around to doing the story things until months or several months later, because I've really only done like origin stories for like 7 or 8 characters because they take a long time to do, but I'd like to do more of those. And if you guys would like to see origin stories for the newer characters as opposed to just doing whatever ones whenever, I would like to hear about that. But I think from a standpoint of trying to make sure that the videos are the most successful as they can be, doing them when the characters are relevant and highly interesting to the player base, I think is probably the best platform to stand on. So that's one of those things that makes me want to, you know, try to do origin stories for characters like Shinhua or Yunjin or both right away. You know, like I could do, you know, a 1 week after the character's released, or you know, or maybe sooner, depending on how production goes and how long it takes me to put together all the information. I could do the 5-star character and then, you know, the following week do the 4-star character, or the other way around. But I'd probably do it with the 5-star first, if I'm really being honest about how I would probably prioritize those events. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. And if that's the case, on Tuesday night, after I roll the character and initially put together a build for her, I'll probably do a, you know, like a Shenhua like rush party where I do co-op with everybody to kind of, you know, try to rush her friendship levels. So I might need to do like a rotation ring on it though, you know, just to get as many people in it as possible. But we'll see. But I'll probably do that with people from the stream, and kind of just try to share that experience with everybody else, and we can, you know, take a look at her profile story information as I unlock those, and then I can, you know, set into making a video for her, you know, at a much earlier point. So we'll see how all that ends up working out. I might have another way to get that information sooner in the future, but we'll see. For now, I don't really have anything. Did you know that there was an early theory going around saying that Shenhua was some kind of human vessel, human form of cloud retainer, because the name Shenhua had the meaning divine crane? I did see a lot of theories floating around early on that said that, where people were saying, you know, months ago even, that Shenhua was just going to be, yeah, like the human vessel body for cloud retainer. And I thought that that was an interesting thought. You know, but you know, they decided obviously to go a different way with that, and I'm kind of glad that they did. I'm kind of glad that Shenhua is her own character, as opposed to just a human vessel for a character that's already established. Although it could be, you know, it could be interesting to say that, like, yeah, well, if it were Cloud Retainer, maybe we would learn more about the character, or maybe she would, you know, softened to the plight of humans if she lived through the body of one. But that said, they're also going to give us more growth for the Cloud Retainer character through Shenhua's lens anyways, because, you know, even the most recent trailer kind of shows that Cloud Retainer appears to have a bit of a soft spot for her anyways as her apprentice. So, you know, we might still get that growth anyways. So we're kind of, honestly, I feel like what they've done instead kind of gave us best of both worlds, I should say, in terms of giving us character growth for both characters instead of just the one. So I think we all kind of win on that one. I think, didn't I just come from this one over here? Nope, I didn't, because I can still see the flowers up there. Commissions and domains to raise friendship. Yeah, so it will probably be a bunch of domains to raise friendship. I do commissions every day, but it'll be domains right away. I'll probably, you know, try to get on the stream and probably try to farm domains that I need to get additional items for Shenhua directly as much as possible. Maybe we'll go do some like Blizzard Strayer domain or something. I don't know. That might be horrible to do with her unless I, you know, set her up to do physical damage, though. She may herself not be very useful in that domain, but I kind of suspect as a cryo... I'm going to be trying to build her as a cryo DPS, I think, because her weapon is attack, so that to me kind of suggests that she's going to be built to be an attacker. And I might actually... what I'm probably going to do is pair her with Changyun, you know, like... see if I can pair them off to make her into a cryo DPS, like a cryo elemental DPS. I think that might be interesting, kind of enjoyable. So we'll see. I've actually been investing a little bit in Changyun recently, which is kind of sad that I'm like investing in Changyun before Xingqiu, but you know, that's how things go. That's, you know, I've never necessarily been the guy who just builds meta characters, although, you know, time necessitated that I did, because the Spiral Abyss is miserable if you don't build meta characters. It just is. Oh, that's what it's drawing me towards, is this, isn't it? Yeah, no, it can't be that, because it doesn't find those. I need to go back up a little bit higher, because there's still more. There should be some just north of this. Okay. Daily quests, domain runs, and those random quests are sometimes that pop up. Yeah, that's another way to get it as well. Domains are usually like, you also get boosted friendship XP when you do it in co-op. That was something that they changed. I think in 2.0 wasn't it that they added that, right? I think it was 2.0 where they increased that. Maybe it was earlier, but I think it was 2.0. I need to go more out this way. Yep, I can see him over there. Hey, this proves my theory on every cryo character being lonely in some way. I mean, that does seem to be one of the defining traits of cryo characters. You know, one of the things is, you know, I feel like if we all dug deep enough, every one of the elements would probably be definable by like a single word characteristic. But we don't necessarily, you know, have, you know, we haven't necessarily discovered the full pattern for all of the different elements yet. But it would seem that cryos would be like loneliness or you know, just like alone. Because they all seem to be like that, right? Like Rosaria definitely is on her own. Like she was like kidnapped as a child by like assassins or something, and you know, she had to basically kill those assassin captives later in her life. Like after becoming an assassin herself, she had to assassinate her captives to get away from them, basically. So like her story's messed up, and so she has a real trust issue because of her childhood. Obviously Eula, as you know, one of Clan Lawrence, has you know, a sad, lonely past as well. Ayaka is duty bound and feels like she can't really get close to people because of that. Who else? Chi-Chi is a zombie and has kind of limited capacity for emotion, so I don't know that she can really ever not feel lonely, because she probably isn't even really properly aware of her circumstances anyways. Cryo is supposedly having an inner conflict. Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I could definitely see where that would be the case. I think that's a Chin scene right up there on top of that little rock right there. It wasn't even the spot I was looking for, and I don't... Oh, no, those are on the map. Okay, cool. Now that I'm seeing them, I'm gonna grab those. I'm sure I'm leaving some cryo characters out because there's so many cryo characters, but yeah, I mean, the pattern's there. We can definitely see that it's there. Okay, I got the two that are here. There should be another one down here. I think it's probably on that rock right there. Let's go to that one. Conria had become a sea of monsters based on Albedo's story. Albedo said that when he woke up, he had been ordered and taught to fight by Reindaughter. Right. Yeah, I mean, he says that his earliest memories are adventuring with his master. If I believe those are his exact, like the exact way he explained that. And then, yeah, he was trained to fight by his master as well. So it's interesting to me that, you know, Gold is the one, Reindaughter is the one that brought, you know, the cataclysm on to Conria, more than likely. Like, she is the one who, you know, created the dark monsters, and that's probably resulted in the destruction of Conria. So I feel like, you know, the era of Cataclysm is kind of like an all-encompassing term for like everything that happened then. So like, you know, all of Gold's monsters were, you know, the beginning of the era of Cataclysm, and the era of Cataclysm drew to a close when the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles basically deleted Conria. And all of those monsters as well, it seems. But it's probably a little bit more complicated than that, and there's probably a lot more going on. But it seems like, yeah, Conria was becoming overrun by monsters, probably because of the corruption. It was probably turning everybody into more monsters. I'll be really curious to see more about that as well, because we do know from accounts of characters like Mikoshi Chiyo and stuff like that, people who fought during the era of the Cataclysm, they were, you know, kind of slowly tainted by the monsters that they were killing. Although Mikoshi Chiyo was kind of a bit more suddenly, because, you know, she got eaten by one and broke out of the inside of the thing, and, you know, it's like its black blood basically kind of like was absorbed and corrupted her from the inside after that experience, which is like tragic in and of its own. Okay, I'm more excited to know about Orobashi's truth than Ankanomiya. I feel like we're gonna learn more about Orobashi in Ankanomiya, right? Because that's where he's from too. If you've read the book, one of the books that I actually did a video on recently, which is I always forget the name of it. This one right here, The Serpent Drake of Tokyo no Kuni. This one actually tells us a bit about the Serpent Drake, whose name is Dragonair, who basically you know, kind of oppressed Enkanomiya for a long time. And it wasn't until the artificial sun was made there that you know, the Serpent Drake, who can't really be in the sun or in the light at all, was finally ousted as a primary power there. But you know, somebody else bad also stepped up to power right behind it. But you know, it was like a, you know, a more human-based oppression. So it was a little bit more manageable, I think, but they still, you know, people were unhappy. And then this kid accidentally stumbled upon Orobashi, and Orobashi, you know, basically took them away. We don't know much about how Orobashi took them away, took them to Watatsumi. We don't know how that occurred, but that is what occurred. But it does seem that Orobashi was not necessarily like a monster, right? Like, it seemed like he was kind of, you know, like a kind god for Watatsumi for a time. So whether or not the Tataragami energy or whatever it was, I feel like that's what it was called. I'm having a hard time remembering the name of these things right now, especially in like a long lore-based conversation. Sometimes those terms come and go for me. But yeah, so we don't know if that was a corruption that that he gained later, or what is this? Is this something that I've never done? Are you serious? Probably. Yeah, that is actually a chest I never found. Either that or it repopped. I'll go get it now. That thing better stay long enough for me to go get that. I never find new chests in Liyue anymore. I can't believe I just found one. That's really surprising. That thing better stay long enough for me to get that. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go back over there. All right, cool. Well, I got it. Nice. I love finding new chests. That's a nice surprise. Even if it's just a little bit of more, I'll take it. I didn't find the Chising that was supposed to be over here, though. Although, let me see how many I even have. I haven't actually checked in a little bit, so I need to see what I'm... Oh, no, it would be over here. Let's see. A little bit further down. I'm at 115. I've actually got a lot now, but I still need more. Still need more. I definitely can get her to 80, but I'd like to be able to actually have enough of these on hand to ascend her to 90 as quickly as possible. So I'm going to keep trying to farm more. I need to move... have another one to the south, a couple more to the south. I actually am starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel for availability on these, though, because I think I've gone to a lot of the spaces where these things are even available. But there should still be a few more. Actually, I should have one right over here, it looks like. Although, isn't that where I just came from? No. Nope, I can see it actually right there. So let me go grab that one. Actually, Sangonomiya Island should be a hydro city, but why they declared as Inazuma City. So, Sangonomiya, I believe you're talking about, like, are you talking about, like, the actual, like, place in Enkanomiya? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about Watatsumi? In either event, like, that exists within Inazuma's border, right? So that's why it's part of the Electro Nation. And, you know, the Raiden Shogun, for whatever reason, chose to allow them to exist there without any kind of consequence until Orobashi, you know, turned against the people of Inazuma for reasons unknown. Whether or not it was the Tataragami that caused that, we don't know, or if that was always something that existed within him. It's a little bit hard to say right now. All right, so I got that one now. I got to move off to the east. There should be a couple more over here. Need 168 total. Yeah, I still got a little while to go then. Is Raiden Shogun Nightmare trailer still my favorite? Yes. Far and away, Raiden Shogun Nightmare trailer is my favorite still. I love that trailer. It's so interesting, right? Like, I really, like, from a lore perspective, I really, really like Raiden Shogun, or Raiden A's story. Like, her story is super compelling to me. And just, like, you know, like, the harsh life that she's had to live, like, she was kind of, you know, like the soldier. She was never really meant to be a leader, which I feel like is an interesting parallel to, like, to Kokomi, right? Like, she was never really, like, she doesn't want to be a leader. That's not what she ever thought she was supposed to be. She has a mind for, you know, war strategy, and she's a tactician. So, you know, like, that's where, like, they're both kind of individuals who find their niche in war. But, you know, like, and they're both, you know, essentially just leaders of their, you know, their respective peoples, but they're both really not great leaders. They're better generals than they are leaders. And to me, that's a really interesting parallel that they established between those two characters, and they exist on opposing sides of that battle. And, you know, that battle's not even over yet, guys, by the way. I don't know if you guys have looked through the lines, the voice lines in, you know, for the Raiden Shogun, but one of the voice lines says that she still thinks that Kokomi has to answer for, you know, the events of the, you know, of Watatsumi Island during the war. She doesn't find that to be, you know, resolved yet. Now, to what end, we don't know. That could end up being, you know, more a resolution of misunderstanding where, you know, eventually these two are going to clash for a time. Or, you know, the Shogun comes back to Inazuma from the plane of Euthymia, either by necessity or by force, and eventually has to deal with what, you know, with, you know, the Watatsumi Island resistance and the remnants of that, and what, you know, they'll plan to do with that, we don't know yet. So, but there's still room, I think, for growth in that whole thing. And, you know, there's obviously, they put that voice line in to establish the idea that the Raiden Shogun doesn't necessarily believe that the situation between Inazuma, you know, specifically the Tenryu Commission and Watatsumi is exactly over, because it's not. There's still things to resolve there. It is Tatarigami. Okay, cool. I'm not using the wrong word. Awesome. All right. Are there more? Yeah, okay. There are still a few more. Actually, there's a good amount of them over on the islands. I need to go over there and get those. Actually, yeah, there's still a good amount. Actually, just looking at what's available, I might actually be able to get enough of these to level her up all the way. Maybe. We'll see. Scaramouche, but you were close. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about with Scaramouche there. Is that one close to here? Is this right on the teleporter, or is that probably a violet grass? Yes, it is. It's a violet grass. I should have known. Because it's hanging off the side of a mountain. All right, this one's probably one of them, though. No? Where is it? Is it something down here? Oh, there's some bird eggs in there. I usually do like to grab those if I see them. Where the hell is this Chising? There should be another ginseng flower around here. I keep seeing Chising. It's ginseng. But yeah, there should be another one around here. I feel like it should be like right near here, but I can't seem to put eyes on it. Where the hell is this thing? I wish that there was a visual component to this as well. Like, if you have Chi-Chi in your party, you could use Elemental Sight to like see its actual location through like rocks and stuff. Like, that would be really, really nice. As opposed to just seeing its location on the map and then trying to figure out what it is that you're tracking into. Because right now, like, all I can go to like whatever the next hand is that's like it's tracking towards. And if it's not the right one, I have to still grab it just to make it stop tracking to that specific one. Although it looks like that might be it right there finally. I think it's probably this. Come on. No, it's rocks. Damn it. All right, well, now I got those. And there's another one. All right, where is that one? Is this it? No. What is even over here? Man, get out of here. Get out of my face. Bye. Oh, he did. All right. Where is the? Okay, I see it. It's right there next to the tree. All right, that one was kind of in an awkward spot. Little bit hidden. Okay, I got that. There should be another one far to the west side. Oh wait, I think that was the one I just grabbed. So there should be another one far to the east side of this, unless I already got it, but I don't think I did. So we'll go back over towards that one. There's a rumor. There's a rumor Saritsa is Paimon. What is your thought? Oh boy. I don't know what kind of evidence there is to support that. I feel like that's, you know, just just hearsay kind of stuff, like people like wishful thinking, like, because people want to find the reason for Paimon to be in the story. Like, why was she something that we fished out of the water? Like, what is her purpose for being in the story? Like, so people are looking to define her role. I have been very careful from the very beginning, just because we have no evidence to suggest that Paimon is anything at all. Like, she has some physical traits that, you know, like are mirrored in celestial structures, like from Celestia on the login window. But that's about it. That's the only thing that we have been able to positively ID on Paimon towards anything. So, no, I don't really think there's any substance there. Like, I'm going to say, you know, that pretty safely, I think, without even knowing what these rumors are anyways, just because we literally have no evidence that I've ever seen that indicates Paimon is anything at all other than just those visual similarities to things in Celestia. So if anything, I would say she's more likely to have a relationship with Celestia than she is to like the Saritsa. But we'll see. We will. Like, it could still be that. It could be, but like I don't think so. I really don't. There should be another one over there. So I gotta shoot over here now. So I need to go back here. Do you think we'll ever get to learn more about the other Yaksha? Yes, I do. For one very important reason, which is that one of the Yaksha are supposedly still alive, right? Like one of them, the one that didn't die, there's one that disappeared. So MiHoYo would not have kept one of the other Yaksha on the table if they didn't intend to harvest that idea at some point. Like, that's Chekhov's gun, right? Like, you don't put a gun in a scene in a TV show or a movie unless there's intent to have somebody use it or for it to be a plot device at some point. So, the fact that one survived and disappeared, that's not Zhao or Attalus, as he was known then, it suggests that yes, we will get, you know, a return of that character at some point. When, I can't say, but it will happen. Like, I hope sooner rather than later. But you know, I'm sure that their plan is to, you know, add that character when the story dictates it. Whether or not it will be to, you know, to drive the Archon quest or to drive an event of some kind, I think it's hard to say. I feel like it could be very easily used to drive an Archon quest on some degree because, you know, the Yaksha are very important to Liyue's past. So I feel like there could be a lot of intrigue behind them doing that at the right time. I hope that they do. I really do. What's my Ayaka build, if you may ask? My Ayaka is built with, I think 4-piece Blizzard Strayer off the top of my head. For the longest time, she was 2-2. I think she's not 2-2 anymore. No, yeah, she's 4-piece. So usually I try to use her in cryo resonance comps to further increase her crit rate. She is sitting at, when she's in a, you know, she's in a frozen comp. So with 4-piece Blizzard Strayer in a cryo resonance team, she's at like 80% crit rate with 232 crit damage. And 138.2 energy recharge. She's sitting in a really good spot to recharge her elemental burst quickly. So I actually feel like she's one of my better built characters overall. And her talents are 8, 6, 9. I actually really do want to crown this skill. I've never gotten around to it. I actually really want to level this one to 8. I haven't done that yet either because I've just never gotten around to farming more of these, but I do need to do that. And then after I've finally gotten this to 8, I will probably go back and crown this just because that ability is so useful. I actually would really like to get C1 on Ayaka at some point too. So whenever they rerun her, it's going to be really difficult for me to justify not getting her first constellation because it increases the damage radius of her elemental burst. And so it'll make it a little less likely that you can miss with her elemental burst, which I think would be really handy. Was it Jinche is the missing Yaksha at the inn fishing? What? No, oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about that guy who is like a vision wielder or whatever, who like doesn't have one or whatever, and he's just down there at the ground. I don't think. No, Attalus is Zhao. If you read the book for that, Attalus is Zhao. And that's just not the name he goes by anymore, but Attalus is Zhao. Because Attalus was also known as the like the Demon Conqueror or Demon Slayer or whatever. That's Zhao's title. All right, so I got those. I need to move okay, into this area here to the north of Liyue City. Next. They said they plan to release all the regions within the next 5 years in the 2.0 live stream. But whether or not this means the end of the story, we don't know. Yeah, it's not going to be the end of the story. So it might be the end of what's considered the Archon quest lines. And that's probably where we'll move on to whatever the next main arc will be for the game. So to me, I feel like light and dark, like the war between light and dark is like, to me, there are little threads that indicate that that's where they're going to go after the Archon questline, because I feel like light and dark elements have been suppressed in Tivat. I feel like there's a lot of little evidence. My whole theory that I made, actually, I really still support that that is where this is going. Light and dark are elements that once existed, whether or not they were vision-based elements or, you know, like human mage-based elements. But they are things that existed within Tivat. I feel like just like, you know, like good versus evil, like that, like very basic level battle between good and evil is something that everybody can kind of relate to as well. So it would be something really easy for them to make the next challenge. But like, what if resolving the Archon quest line is something that actually, you know, like starts this like war between good and evil? Like, what if light and dark visions begin to become prevalent in Tivat afterwards? Like, whatever Celestia has done that is preventing those visions from being, you know, given out or passed around is now no longer a thing. And all of a sudden, you know, like people are getting dark visions and using this dark magic all over the place. And where all this darkness is rising, light vision holders are also beginning to rise. So then we start getting new light and dark elemental characters. Maybe not necessarily every light character will be good and not necessarily every dark character will be bad. What is it? The story that I just recently covered a lore book for. Also, what was that? Hexenhound. Also establishes that light and dark elements are things that could exist within Tivat as well. Because Notfrigga was a dark mage and her sister Magdalene was a light mage. These two characters used very different magic. They established that light magic also can be used to resurrect, you know, people who have been killed, or even replant their souls in alternative vessels, which to me is also very telling. And that's also something that I still have a whole theory that I'm going to be getting into about that concept. That I've already teased that video, but I'm not going to talk about it right now, because I've kind of sidelined it for a little while to continue to allow that specific theory to marinate, I think is probably the best word, because I want to continue to consider like what it might mean in the grander scale of things while I work on some other ideas that I think are more fleshed out for me right now. Hey, a chest, another chest. I can't believe I just found another chest. It's weird. I almost never find chests anymore in Liyue, so that's impressive. Let me I'll just throw Klee in here so that I can bomb this thing. Hey, I missed. All right, fine. Jumpies. All right, gimme. Klee rarely gets to set stuff on fire for me anymore, so that was fun. Good job, Klee. All right, back to jungling so I can kill rocks. All right, where is it? It's probably another violet grass or something, or a rock hanging out underneath something. Yeah, it is. Okay. I knew it would be. Where am I on the map even right now? Am I in the right spot anymore? No, I don't. Okay, I need to go to the north. So the teleporter is here. These should be over here. So maybe I should just, no, I'm gonna go back here. I think I got one of them. I didn't get the other one. Actually, no, this I think would be the closest location for the next one. I feel like people don't think about the fact that Klee or Alice and Klee are probably of a different race and possibly much older than a lot of other characters. So that's actually something that I've talked about quite a good deal. And Alice already mentioned that Klee is also of, I forget the words that she used. but something like an undying race or something like that, or blessed with long life or something like that. But they're elves. They're essentially elves, and it establishes the fact that like elven races exist in Tavat, which you know, like we could already tell visually anyways. Klee has pointy ears. She's the only character who does. So her mother Alice will reasonably also have, you know, the elven lifespan, and so I think, you know, Alice also has already been established to have that past relationship with Mona's master, and Mona's master, we know, is at least 50 years old, but probably older, because, you know, she's had that relationship with Alice for a long time, and they have a 50-year long like rivalry, I guess. That's kind of like the way that their relationship was defined, I think, by Mona. So that suggests that Mona's master is probably, you know, I think probably in the 65 to 70 area, if not older. So Alice would have to be at least that old, but because she's, you know, elven and blessed with that long life, she's not going to look old, but she's definitely, you know, going to be an omnipotent mage who's going to probably change the course of things a little bit. I, for one, am really, really hoping for Klee's mother Alice to be a just bonkers good primary pyro DPS. Like, I suspect in Catalyst. For the love of God, please make her a Catalyst just like Klee, but make her not a bomb-throwing kind of useless character that Klee is, because like, Klee has never really been prominent in the meta, and I would love to see a pyro Catalyst that's actually relevant in the meta, because like I think both Klee and Yanfei can be fun, but they're not really relevant in the meta. So I'd love to see one that can actually be relevant and useful in the Spiral Abyss. Aside from wait, what are we talking? Do you think the Genshin team will possibly touch on other worlds connected to the world tree, like the tree that's in the domains, and if they're possibly a threat to Tavat? Probably. Because like this whole idea of like the MiHoYo verse, I think is, you know, like this multiversal idea has become more and more popular in culture over the last 3 to 5 years, I would say. Really, I think Marvel has kind of, you know, obviously they've been pioneering that idea for a few years now, and really only started to properly what's the word I'm looking for, harvest that recently, what with Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man movie. So that like multiversal ideas, I think, are something that people are just interested in right now. And multiversal theory actually is the thing that exists in the real world too, where like people suspect that there's multiple universes that are overlain with each other, where things are just a little bit different in each one of those universes. And it's actually a really interesting concept. So I feel like up until very recently, video games and movies didn't really explore that concept at all. And these days, popular culture is catching on to those ideas and using them. I don't want to say a lot, but like they're starting to catch fire. And I think that MiHoYo has a great opportunity with Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact Third being leaves on the same tree, as they said, to kind of tap into the idea of like multiversal universe story building, and can kind of harvest that themselves too. So I think it would be a major missed opportunity if they do not. I would love, like, we already know that like Fischl and Keqing have had you know, a transfer moment into Honkai Impact. Like in, you know, they did that event where like Fischl and Keqing were over there. Well, I'm sure there's going to be an event where eventually some kind of Honkai characters come over here. Who that is, like, it's hard to say. Like, in my mind, I would want it to be Kiana, but because she's the main character of Honkai Impact Third, that seems unlikely. So, you know, like I say all the time, time will tell. But I think that there's lots of interesting characters that they could they could try to feasibly bring in. And because it's multiversal, it doesn't even necessarily have to be characters that are even still alive in Honkai Impact Third. Like, it could literally be, you know, a character transfers out of time through the multiverse. So like Himiko Murata, a character who is canonically dead in Honkai Impact Third, because she sacrificed herself to save you know, to bring Kiana back from being the Hersher of the Void, like that character could be an interesting one to bring over here. And also could be really interesting to do that as a story, like Archon Quest story relevant thing when we get to Natlan, because the there's a whole race of people in Tevat that are called the Murata. That's the people that look like Diluc, like the red-haired Muratan people. They're based on her character. So that could be really, really interesting for like that character to be dropped into Tevat and see that there's a whole race of people who are like named after her namesake. Like that could be kind of crazy. So I think that would be an interesting thing to see. Like she could be a cool character to see. But there's also other characters I think that could be really interesting. Any of the characters that the Archons are modeled after could be interesting characters to see within Tevat. So, you know, you never know what they'll do with it. But I feel like it's inevitable that there will be a Honkai Impact 3rd crossover at some point in time within this game. I hope that Genshin and Honkai can remain their own things even if they're connected. So I also think that, you know, them remaining their own things is important. I wouldn't want them to tie it too closely, but I feel like if they continue to ignore that connection altogether, you're going to miss opportunities. And I feel like that would be an equal, you know, an equally bad thing to do. So like, yeah, they don't need to like cross over everything to where like all the enemies become the same thing and like the entire cast of Honkai Impact 3rd joins the entire cast of Genshin Impact to fight the same enemies, like, you know, on both games. Like I don't think it needs to be like that, you know. That would be like, it's maybe it's not exactly a great analogy, but that would be like, you know, Marvel and DC characters all fighting the same villains. Like it's, you know, it's kind of like that, you know, but not exactly. So I don't know that I would want to see it done that way, but I'd like it done on a small scale where, you know, they, like I said, like something like, you know, like Himiko Murata, like a single character or maybe 2 characters come in and have some part to play where they experience the world of Tevat and there's some kind of confusion there. And, you know, maybe it's vaguely related to the Archon Quest or something, or more than likely not the Archon Quest. So it would probably more than likely be an event quest that still ties into the main story in some fashion, which is more par for the course for the way they design quests in this game anyways. So we can only really wait and find out what they're going to do. But right now it doesn't, you know, they don't seem to be tracking any kind of crossovers into Genshin Impact within the story, right? Because we've had one crossover character introduced from the multiverse, you would consider technically, which is Aloy. And she's a great character. Like those of you who have not played Horizon Zero Dawn, 10 out of 10, you should. It's amazing. I'm trying to get my hands on a PS5 so I can play Horizon Forbidden West because I pre-ordered it for PS5 and I don't have one, and I definitely didn't want to pre-order it for PS4 and then not have the option to play it on a PS5, so I have to get one. I actually got really close to getting one on Amazon today, but it kept freezing up when I was trying to hit when I was trying to get it from the cart into purchase. Like I actually got one in the cart, which is hard enough to do, but I couldn't get the actual thing to like pass on to the next window, so I got screwed. Is what it is for now. Like I'm just gonna have to keep trying, but you know, it'll happen for me eventually. As soon as I do get a PS5, I'm going to invest in a proper capture card for consoles, so that I can actually stream things like Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like I'd love to get into content on my streams for those games, and maybe even like get into theory crafting for some of those games worlds, because their worlds are really compelling to me. I'd love to do theory crafting for you know, maybe even for like Zelda stuff when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. But there are some really top tier theory crafters for that property already. So and that's, you know, I don't necessarily know if I would even like compare to what they're doing. But you know, I've definitely watched enough of their theories to have a good enough understanding of the all-encompassing knowledge of Zelda. Obviously, I own some of the books and stuff that really help to piece together everything as well. So like, I'm nowhere near the kind of mastery that those guys are in that property. Okay, so let me go back here. I need to go to the southwest. Honkai Endgame style event. Yeah, actually, yeah, Honkai Endgame. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, they could do something like that where just all of the MiHoYo characters do that, but like I feel like that would be hard to pull off. And if they did, they would need it to like end afterwards. But I mean, here's the thing, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home proved that you can do that. You can bring these multiversal characters together and provide a really, really like fulfilling story from that. Like, I don't know about some of you guys, but I grew up with, you know, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. So like for him to have, you know, been a thing in that movie, it was just like my brain exploded. And then for, you know, Andrew Garfield to like do such a good job coming back and playing the character again. I don't think anybody expected that either. And it's not that nobody liked him as Spider-Man anyways. I think just like his villains weren't very good and a lot of people didn't like those movies because of that. But yeah, for those guys to, you know, show up in the movie and do what they did and do such a good job and to be so memorable and to give us closure on their story arcs after so many years was just, it was so fulfilling. But because a game like Honkai Impact 3rd is still currently in development and still making story, they don't necessarily need to do that crossover to give us closure on anything. So they don't have to do that. They can relatively keep the properties separate and still give us, you know, progress on the stories for both, without any kind of real risk. So there's also that. All right, so I've gotten everything over here. I need to go a little bit further to the west and go over to the Jingsu Pool. TH, do you think you will play Breath of the Wild 2 if you can? Oh, absolutely, Andy. So, you know, like I said, I've always been a huge Zelda fan. You know, I grew up in the era of, you know, NES and Super Nintendo and have been playing Zelda since those games. And you know, like I was, you know, still pretty young when the N64 came out. You know, like, yeah, when the N64 came out, I was like 10. So, you know, when Ocarina of Time came out, you know, I was barely even a teenager. And so like those games have been very ingrained in my life. And so Zelda has always been a franchise that's near and dear to me. And so Breath of the Wild was huge. Like that game blew me away. You know, like say what you will, some people didn't like that they changed the Zelda recipe so severely, but I am the kind of person who's open to change and open to new stylization of, you know, stale properties because, you know, again, here's like another instance of that exact thing is Skyward Sword. They set that game up to be like from a storytelling perspective, amazing. Like it's really heavily regarded as one of the better stories of the Zelda franchise, but they built that game on a stale platform in terms of like dungeon development and weapons and all that stuff. And so the game really was kind of under celebrated for that. And then also, you know, it was on the Wii and the whole Joy-Con thing was always terrible and not very enjoyable. And even the HD remake kind of still has like a nuanced version of that goofy motion system still in place, and honestly they should have just done away with it and spent a bit more time figuring out a way to retool that game to be a just like a proper console experience as opposed to a weird halfsies motion game like the HD remake is. So like it still didn't make me want to play it, but honestly, as a longtime Zelda fan, like I know all about the story of that game anyways. I've watched more than enough content to know exactly how that story goes down and what characters like Demise and Girahim and all that, like what they represent in the Zelda universe and what they're even like when, you know, like so when in Breath of the Wild, when the sword spoke to Zelda to let her know what she needed to do to save Link during the calamity. You know, I knew that like enough about Skyward Sword to know in that moment that like, hey, like that's probably like the spirit of Fi or Fire, however you say her name, talking to Zelda in that moment. So like this is how the sword was able to communicate with her and help her save Link. So yeah. Zelda's a big deal to me. Like it always has been. I will more than likely do some stream content playing Breath of the Wild's sequel. I have to because I love Zelda. I always have. And I think it would be nothing but a giant missed opportunity if I didn't. So I will definitely be doing that. You don't really have to worry about that at all. Count on it. It's gonna happen. But I don't know. Like, it's not gonna be like something like where I do it like as high a frequency as Genshin Impact. It'll probably be more like Honkai Impact, where I do it like once a week kind of thing. Because I barely have the time to play new games when they come out anyways, right? Like, I usually have to, you know, like if I want to play other games, usually it's like I have to do it on a stream at this point because I just don't have the time to do it otherwise. I don't really like, I'm such a bottleneck on my own free time, like doing content creation stuff, that like it's very hard for me to just make time to do those sorts of things. It's kind of crazy. Pokemon White and Ocarina of Time, I grew up on those games. Yeah. I don't know that I kind of had gotten out of Pokemon by that time. And I didn't really kind of get back into like the Pokemon space until Pokemon Go came out. Because I was really separated from that for a long, long time. I do have a hell of a lot of Pokemon cards from when I was little, though. I got a lot of those. And they're just sitting in a little holder with all their plastic sleeves from all those. And I barely look at them, like maybe once every 5 years or something. Maybe one day they'll be worth something. Who knows? Probably not. They made so damn many of them that they'll probably never be worth anything. Let's see, at Tavot Astoria, what time do you think you'll end the stream? It's 5:15 in the morning. I'd like to go to bed so soon, but I just wanted to know if it's worth it to stay to the end or not. Wolf, I'm on the last island that has any chising or ginseng flowers, so as soon as I finish getting these flowers, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream, so it's probably pretty soon. Don't remind him. It's hilarious. No, I don't worry. Like, I've been very aware of the time. I've just been continuing to go because like I'm trying to finish getting all these chising flowers so that they have time to repop if I need more. Because it's still very possible that I could still end up needing a few more in order to fully farm up my Shenhe. The DLC for Breath of the Wild and the memories from it were amazing. It made each of the champions more compelling as characters. I absolutely agree. In addition to that, the DLC for Breath of the Wild brought to me one of the most, like, mind-numbingly difficult challenges ever. Like, something that will make you want to just, like, I've never been, like, the gets angry and throws a controller at the TV guy, and I didn't. I'm not saying that I did, because I didn't. But the Trial of the Sword on Master Mode is far and away one of the most challenging things I've ever experienced as a gamer. It was so difficult. It's insanity. I need to swap characters because I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all these ruin guards really quick while I'm here. Because if I don't, then they're all just going to mess with me, and I just need to go ahead and get rid of them. All right. But yeah, the Trial of the Sword on Master Mode is a mind-numbing experience that is very, very difficult and will make you want to, like, punch your TV or something. Like, you will want a reprieve from the entire game after you complete it, if you complete it, because it's awful. Worth it. Yes, it is, because the Master Sword breaking is one of the most frustrating things ever developed from any game ever. Like, every time it pops, you're just like, are you serious right now? Did you really need to do that? Did this mechanic need to persist into the Master Sword, for crying out loud? Did that need to be a thing? But there it is. They did it. It stayed a thing. And so, yeah. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if any of you guys have ever brought a Raiden Shogun-based team that's really powerful over to this island, but as you can see, she deletes the crap out of those things. You just have to round up the enemies properly first so that you can kind of kill them without problem. But yeah, I've done that so many times at this point that it's become kind of second nature. All right, anyways, I need to swap my party back to the other one so that they don't mess with me while I'm doing this, now that they're gone. All right. I only have a couple of ginseng flowers left. There should be one, I think, up here. It's not up here. It's on one of the other little things nearby, but I think it's... No, I don't think it is up here. Where the hell is this flower? Is it... It's definitely on this island, but where? It keeps pointing me over here, so there's something else over here that it's pointing me at. It's probably this rock over here. I'm gonna have to get those so that I can actually see where this is. Sorry for repeating. I just wanted to ask before the stream. What did you? Did I miss something? Tina, do you think the sustainer of heavenly principles is Celestia itself? Or an important figure in it, perhaps more important than the archons? I feel like the celestial or the sustainer of heavenly principles is, in my mind, like in my head canon, the sustainer of heavenly principles, the unknown god, is their weapon. I don't think that she's like actually like the queen of Celestia or anything like that. I feel like in my mind she's more like almost like a reluctant weapon that they unleash upon mortals of Tavat when they have to tame humanity. Which is kind of like a dark, twisted way of looking at it, but like I kind of like that's the vibe I get from her, especially given like the moment of surprise that she has when she absorbs your your chosen main character, and kind of the frown that she has afterwards, like as you're being absorbed into the magic. She kind of almost has like this like sad look on her face, like she's not happy that this is happening, or maybe she understood something in that moment that she wasn't meant to, and maybe that's why she's not been around, because maybe that act caused her to change on some level, and maybe Celestia took her out of action after that. Like it could go anyway, but I really don't think that she is like, I don't think she's the mastermind. She just doesn't strike me as that character. Like I feel that Celestia is something more sinister than she is, and I don't think that they've intended to play her as a villain, but we'll see. But I don't think that they have intended to play that character as a villain, but I really hope not anyways. I feel like it would be much more compelling if she were not. But that's just me. It's just how my mind works with her whole deal so far.
One with nature.
I think I think Wolf, like some kind of slave to Celestia might be the way to look at it. Like, I don't know on what level they have control of her power, but I think on some level that's how she works. Yeah. All right, so I need to get to the next island over now, because that is where the other two Chinsing flowers or Chinsing flowers are. And then there's two more to the island to the north after that. And that's everything, I think. All right, so my favorite champion is hand down Urbosa. I mean, she's just Urbosa is really cool. I think out of the champions in Breath of the Wild, I think Urbosa is probably my favorite too. She's really cool. They did a really good job with her character. Actually, I want to say that her voice actor is also a voice actor in Genshin Impact, and I'm having a hard time remembering off the top of my head who she is. But I do think that she did a voice for Genshin Impact as well, and I can't remember which one it is right now. I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure she did. Now that I'm thinking about it. Urbosa is perfect and amazing. I agree. Argo says, I like this idea. I mean, she doesn't kill the twins. They awoken later and power is sealed. I don't think she's the endgame antagonist. I don't think she is either. I tend to feel like, personally, Lumine's gonna be, like our sibling is gonna be the endgame Archon Quest antagonist, or whoever the major force of Celestia is, if there even is a central force to that, or if it's not something that's like more magically based, will be the endgame protagonist of everything. But if Lumine is the endgame protagonist, I think it could be really, 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 really interesting, because then there's not salvation likely for that character, which I feel like would be the more tragic ending for that. And I think that a lot of things, like there's like little hints of darkness within this game's story, right? Like little things here and there, but tragedy always stays like in the past, something that's talked about in the past tense, not usually in the present tense. So I kind of feel like it's due up for some kind of on-screen happening like that. Rosaria, that's who it was. Yeah, Yeah, Urbosa VA is Rosaria. Honestly, she was the one I was thinking it was, but I didn't want to say and then look wrong. But yeah, that was who I was thinking it was. That one dude always stays up in arms about the Vortex Vanquisher is going to be happy about that weapon. What? One dude who stays up in arms about Vortex Vanquisher? What? I'm really confused. I'd love to get a Vortex Vanquisher. I don't even know if it's that good a weapon, but I want one. I do. Like, if they actually finally rerun Vortex Vanquisher, I will get one. I will. But we don't have Conria in the Archon quest too. So I mean, Conria will be in the Archon quest. We know that from the Teyvat timeline or Teyvat storyline trailer, because it's like chapter question mark or whatever it was, like after chapter 7, like they show that one. But I think that the fact that they didn't list that as an actual chapter number could be taken to mean that it could be placed anywhere. Like we could be going to Conria here and there throughout the story, so it could come sooner, it could come later, but it's hard to say exactly when that will happen for the first time. But I kind of feel like they're gonna, you know, drip feed us little things of Conria here and there, where, you know, like we'll go to the actual Conria, we'll find out more about Kaya's role within Mondstadt, because, you know, he's Conrian. Like, he was sent to basically infiltrate the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt, because Conria and Mondstadt are enemies on some level. And I don't even know how that's a thing, because they haven't discussed it at all. But apparently it's a thing. And that might be also why, like, 90% of the Knights of Favonius are displaced. They're not in Mondstadt. They left with Varka on some sort of expedition. And it could be, you know, protecting, you know, extended borders of Mondstadt from, you know, whatever's going on with them. We don't know. Okay. A guy on Twitter always wants the Vortex Vanquisher rerun. He was very happy. Okay. Are they finally rerunning it? Is that a thing? I mean, they're rerunning Zhongli in 2.4, so I guess feasibly, but they didn't rerun Vortex Vanquisher last time they reran Zhongli, so I, you know, have been kind of sad waiting for it to happen. Also, the banners have leaked. I mean, not leaked, have been on Twitter. I haven't actually seen, like, the full details of the banners, but I also don't actively seek out leaks, so if they were leaks, that's probably why I haven't seen any of that. Should totally give it during Zhongli banner, please. Believe. Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. I really do. The banners are out in the event tab notices. Okay. If so, then I'll probably end the stream here in a moment by checking that out. Because it is pretty much about time for me to finish up the stream. It's been like 3.5 hours, so I'm going to be wrapping this up here because I got one last Ginseng flower to get, which I already see. And then I'm going to check what my totals are. And then I'm going to check out the banner status. If there is a link to those, then I'm going to check that out. All right, so let's see how many I ended up having. Now that I got to the end of those. 145. I'm close. I need another... You need 168, so I need another 23. That's not bad. That's very doable before the release of the character, or maybe on the release day of the character. I can take care of it like before the stream starts or something like that. I'll have to check into that. All right, so not that window. It should be notices. Let's see, 2.4. No, this is not for the banners. 2.4 preview. No. The pre-installation functions coming up soon. Update summary, maybe? No, that's for 2.3 stuff still. No. Online top. Oh, yeah. I've been actually meaning to check out whether or not that works, the online top-up center thing. I've never actually gotten into that. Where is... I thought this was supposed to be in here, but I don't see this anywhere. 2.4 preview. I don't think it's in there. I'm not seeing that it's on here. Oh, maybe it's under event. Probably not, but I'm gonna check it out anyways. Test run. No. Okay, maybe it's not. I don't see this in. Check the chat. What? I am checking the chat. I am confused. Was checking your character showcase? What? I don't know what event tab. Well, that was the first thing I went to, but I didn't see it over here. It just shows Oni's Royale. Maybe is that maybe only in other regions that it's popped up, because it hasn't popped up here. Yeah, it's only in Asia. Okay, that makes sense. I see that. Yeah, so it depends on the region. So, you know, like we usually get things like 12 hours later here on the NA servers compared to like the Asia servers, and still even like 5 hours or something behind the European servers as well. So I don't know, or maybe I need to log out and log back in to make it appear. I'm not even really sure. Looks like there's a link for it in the chat, so I can just pull it up there. Thanks, Aether. Go to Twitter if that's actually a thing. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is the official Genshin Impact Twitter. And yes, it is. It's Vortex Vanquisher and Amos Bow. So that is actually a really sick banner, because even if you don't get Vortex Vanquisher, if that's a weapon you want, you get Amos Bow, which is like one of the best bows in the game. So like you're literally getting Zhongli's like banner weapon or Ganyu's banner weapon as 50/50s. That's awesome. That is actually a really, really good weapon banner, if Vortex Vanquisher is even indeed still a good weapon for Zhongli. Back in the day, it was a decent weapon for him. I don't know how it's going to work now. I personally have a Staff of Homa on him. I don't even know that I need it for him, but I want it anyways. Because I'm going to be making one physically, and I'd like a good 3D reference for it. But yeah, so that is really cool. I like that they've done that, and that's going to be how they progress with that. So yeah, okay, Vortex Vanquisher is finally getting a rerun. That's super overdue, but I'm really stoked that they're doing that. Also, they have a really nice art for the announcement for the crane in the clouds. That's really nice with Shenhe on it, Shenhua on it. I gotta stop saying it the weird way. There's a event. I guess it says take place in the event over there. Yeah, it looks like it's already started. Does this have Chinsin flowers on it or something? I don't know. Let me see if I can even put this up on the screen. I don't even know that I can do that. Actually, no. Sharon, get 20k more. What is even okay? It takes you to her trailer, which is really great, by the way, guys. If you haven't watched her trailer, you should. It's definitely pretty awesome, but it looks like the event right now only gives you like a quick link to her oh god, like I'm losing ability to articulate, but to her teaser trailer. So that's pretty much all it is right now, but I'm sure that it's probably going to have some other stuff going on here in the future, but for now it doesn't have anything else, but it has a really nice like animated art in the background, so that's pretty cool. Let me see what other banners they may have released on the official page. They have the login rewards are announced on there, along with the free characters, which very surprisingly includes Yunjin. The banner for Shenhua is with Yunjin, Ningguang, and Chongyun. So that's pretty cool. And you know, like I said, I'm planning on building my Chongyun finally to be used with Shenhua right now. So that's cool. Ganyu's banner will be with Yanfei, Beidou, and Xingchua. Zhao's rerun banner will also be with Yunjin. That's surprising. Yeah, that's really surprising. So Zhao's banner is also Yunjin and Ningguang and Chongyun. So the same characters that the Shenhua banner is running with. And Zhongli's is also running with Beidou, Yanfei, and Xingchua. So yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. And then also very interesting, the Primordial Jade-Winged Spear is running with Calamity Queller, which is Shenhua's weapon, the Calamity Queller. So yeah, so that's interesting. So for those of you who want a Primordial Jade-Winged Spear for your Zhao, there's a good opportunity to get one of those there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'll take that. Okay, yeah, good. I do like that they put that information out there. They also went ahead and put up the information for how Calamity Queller works, which, by the way, guys, if you don't know, Calamity Queller is a attack percent based weapon. It does only add 16.5% attack at level 90, but its base attack is 741, which is absolutely enormous. That is a lot of base attack. Like, that's a surprising amount of base attack at level 90. And then its bonus is that it gains 12% all elemental damage bonus and obtains a consummation for 20 seconds after using an elemental skill, causing attack to increase by 3.2% per second. This attack increase has a maximum of 6 stacks. When a character equipped with this weapon is not on the field, consummation's attack increase is doubled. So it also, I guess it kind of looks like once you've attacked or something to trigger it, it will buff your other characters, which is pretty nice, by up to 6 stacks at 3.2% per second. So after, it looks like, I guess, 6 seconds, you would gain 3.2% per round, which I think would be what, 13 times, or 3.2 times 6. What is that? 19.2. I'm gonna get a calculator for that because I think it's 19.2, but I don't know. It's late in the day and it's been a long day for me. So 3.2 times 6, 19.2. Okay, cool. I'm not that dumb. Yeah, so that's not bad. That's actually not a bad bonus to attack. And you can see that, like, with that 19.2 on top of the 16.5 that the weapon comes with by default, that's already 35.7% increased attack for the character, which kind of indicates that, like, this character is going to be very attack based. So we'll see. I'm planning to use mine with Chungyun and just make like a cryo-centric main DPS party that's also like a what is it? Oh god, I can't think of the word right now. Like, Chungyun and Shenhua are both, oh god, I am losing my ability to articulate. Exorcists. It's gonna be like my exorcist party. So then I gotta find 2 other characters to support them better, and I haven't decided who that's gonna be yet, but we'll see. Amos Bow is only good on Ganyu. Don't get debated by this banner weapon. I have an R5 Skyward Pride instead of Amos because the banner would not give it to me. So Amos Bow is good on, I would say, more than good on just Ganyu. If you want to, because there's one other character that an Amos Bow would be good on. Amos Bow is really good on Ganyu, though, for sure. It absolutely is. But Ganyu is really the only good primary damage dealer character who, you know, really makes good use of this weapon because of the way she works. But the other character that this weapon would be really good on is Kujo Sara, because her buff is based on base attack. So I have a level 80 right now. I do need to level this to 90, which will increase the base attack by a good amount more, but I think it still will be under 600, I think, all said and done. But because her buff is based on base attack, which is only able to be increased by leveling or leveling a weapon, this weapon has higher natural attack, which would make it a really good choice for Akujo Sara as well. So you have that option as well. Also, because it will increase charge attack or something. Let's see. Increase normal and charge attack damage by 12%. Yeah, so her charge attacks will do a little bit more damage, but that's not usually what you're using Kujo Sara for. Anyways, most of the time, whenever you use her Tengu Stormcall shots, you just fire it at the ground to make sure that you can still pick it up, because if you shoot it in an enemy, you probably won't capitalize on the buff. So yeah, most of the time you don't use it for that. But yeah, she'd also be good on Akujo Sara because that's a really good way to bring the best out of your Kujo Sara. But for me, I got Engulfing Lightning for Yoimiya, and Yoimiya ended up being really lackluster. So it wasn't even really a choice whether or not I would give it to Kujo Sara, because I wanted to bring the best out of my Kujo Sara, so I just threw it on her. And Yoimiya now has, I think, she has a Rust, which works fine too. It's a good weapon for her. Anyways, guys, I need to get out of here. It has been a long stream. Honestly, my voice is starting to get a little hoarse, and I'm like constantly losing the ability to articulate at this point. So I need to get out of here for the night. Thanks for being here on the stream. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. I'm working on getting to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was trying to do that before the end of the year, but seeing as how the end of the year is officially in under 12 hours or under 24 hours now, I don't think I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna miss it by about, I don't know, like 1,800 subscribers or something like that. I got really close. That's still a win. It's an eye-twitchy win, but it's still a win. I had a great year, and I have to thank everybody for that. So thank you for supporting the channel this far. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe on Twitch if you want to support the channel, and also follow me on Twitch to support the growth of that channel. It really does help me out, guys. It does. Thanks for the continued support, and have a great night. Eat the Paimon. Good night, guys.
In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the
Shut up, Kuching. I want to talk about cake.